Let's go! Yo! This is a message to all believers. We're not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yo! Listen! Living in a time where people staring in your face. Yeah. Problem situations, tragedies are commonplace. Persecution running rampant, it makes you wanna lose your faith, yeah. But please don't be discouraged, just remember he's the way. Yeah. Let your light shine. So may see the light gave us some soul. The world. It's in him who should believe. Everybody shout! Even from the mountain, even in the valley low. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Can't keep it a secret. Gotta let the whole world know. Listen. I get so excited at the mention of his name. Yeah. There's no way that I can hide it. It's written all over my face. So tell me who else would love me after all the wrong I've done. So don't expect me to keep quiet. I'm about to lose control. Yeah. Sure.
If you got a little rhythm, move left to right. A new experience, baby, gon' hit your stride. And who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? And when the grooves get good, don't right to left. Shut up, y'all. We got grab the tread. Now who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? I'm walking. Then stretch and walk it out like you know your plans you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you, so I will trust you. Here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. When my eyes can't get it right. Faith will be my guide. Through the trouble. When I don't understand, I will surrender to your plan for me. Don't clap your hands, everybody. I say feet don't fail me now. Don't chase it, ready? Somehow I walk. You know your plan you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you. I will trust you. So here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. Yeah. My eyes can't get it right. Yeah. Faith will be my guide. And even through the trouble, I don't understand. I'll relinquish all my plans.
Good Lord, open up doors. Took me down a path I ain't never been before. Looking at the road, I don't see a lot of space. Guess I gotta drop my load, cause you're picking up the pace. Don't leave me to die, be by my side. I get a little anxious, please be my guide. I got my feet shot, I've been prepping for the moment I would get the green light. So if you see me, I'm rolling like feet. Don't fail me now.
Tell you like I am by faith. Oh Lord, I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, I say I am. I'm walking. When my eyes can't get it right, will be my guide. Oh yeah, I'll follow. When I don't understand, I'll surrender to your plan for me. Feet don't fail me now. I'm walking. Try to tell you like, oh yeah. I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, I say I am. Can I get a witness? I'm walking. Wherever you may lead. Yeah. Come on, man. Oh yeah. Walking by faith. Sing. Get grandmama now. Go ahead, get Papa. Oh yeah. I'm walking.
There we go. Now you can hear me. I might be sitting on the floor. That nonsense was there. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing all right on this morning. Hold on, let me change the microphone here. There we go. How's that? I think that's a better microphone to use. All right, y'all. What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is Thursday, March the 27th, 2025. The end of March. Oh my God. So here we are. Good morning. I can't believe that the year has gone this far. But here we are, March 27th, and you're locked in with Zeke live in the morning. This is a great way to start your day. I'm so grateful to everyone who logs on, everyone who gets on, everyone who comes on here and bears their soul and just starts their day. Some people just tune in. I just found this out yesterday. You know, we got people who are like in here, they're in the comments, and then we actually got people who just be kind of like listening in passing. Someone told me yesterday they turn it on their YouTube in the morning and just kind of go about their day. Like, so that's really cool when you hear stuff like that, because to me, you know, we just jumping on doing something, but people are actually like listening. So shout out to that. Shout out to everyone who's listening. Shout out to everyone who's listening actively and everyone who's listening passively. I guess I'll put it that way. So here we are. Good morning to everybody. Let me do some real quick shout outs to a couple special people here. We got Miss Rhonda on the Rocks. She was our first comment this morning. Shout out to Miss Rhonda on the Rocks. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her. She is a rock star, and everybody who follows her is rock stars as well. And when you come over here, you make sure you subscribe and all that stuff. Follow, you know, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and IG. And you'll be a lock star. So you can be a lock star by day and a rock star by night. That's, I think, how that works. I think that's how that works. I got the morning and Rhonda got the night shift. So there we go. So y'all follow us. Yeah. Follow that. I left her up there for a minute so that y'all can go and hit her comment if you're on the YouTube side, and you can like and subscribe to her page as well. And then here's our girl, Miss Brony Cat. Brony Cat, you'll be excited to know I just got off the phone with my parents. They're on an airplane right now. So they, was it 7:37 our time? So they should be actually wheels up in maybe a matter of moments here. If they're not all the way up, then they're on their way up. So there we go. There's our dude. Look at that. There goes Keys. Everybody, y'all give Keys a big shout out. Make sure y'all following these. Make sure y'all following and subscribing to these people that I'm putting up, because they always got cool content, cool stuff. And they've got great perspectives, which is why they, I guess, have become lock stars and tuned in with us over here. I'm sorry, not tuned in, locked in with us over here. So shout out to Keys. Y'all wish him well as he's driving. And for everybody that's driving on their way to work, in and out of on their way to work, and all those good things like that. Y'all, it's a good day. We had a good conversation yesterday. We had a great conversation that we just kind of extended over. You guys know this week we're really putting a focus and an emphasis on mental health, trauma awareness, and I think that's a big one, and maybe we'll dive in there a little bit today, just a little bit more about what is trauma. We've been kind of hinting at it all week long, trauma and what it is, but a lot of us don't really even know what it is enough to even say whether or not we've been traumatized. And when you think about it, you know, because we want to break the stigma, but we also want to break up the buzzwordiness of it. You know what I mean? We want to break up the whole buzzwordiness of that. So maybe we'll dive into that some today, but also we'll pick up on some more of our conversation around deconstruction. We've been using that word now, right? And church hurt. We know that word. You from our community, we know that word. I ain't got my ring on. I just realized I took my ring off. We'll dive more into that discussion a little bit later on as well. And so, yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that people are healed. So we're talking about mental health, trauma awareness, and then also ways that you can advocate for your community. And so today we'll continue the conversation that we left off with on yesterday, around deconstruction, church hurt, all of that. Then I want to get into some conversation around tough jobs, like the stress that we get on tough jobs when we have these, you know, some of us work some jobs that put a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on us. I just got hit with some information yesterday that is wearing me out, like some stuff I got to do now for work that takes my job all the way to I ain't gonna say to another level, but it definitely makes me have to reconfigure some things and do all. So, you know, nonetheless, you know, some of us just got difficult workplace environments, and you know, if you tell it, you let folks tell it, and they'd be ready to leave their job real soon. So all right, so we'll dive into that conversation. Now check this out. I do see that my Wi-Fi bars are telling me it's unstable. So if I freeze up, I ain't going nowhere. I'm letting y'all know that. If it freezes up for some reason, I think next week we'll dive into reconfiguring how we go live. But so I'm just letting y'all know that. Yeah. But we'll dive into those conversations on today. I think it's a good conversation. I think it's worthy conversation. One more shout out real quick. Our girl Jamaica Lachey. Y'all know we've been playing her music all week long, and we're gonna continue to do that this week and next week as well. I said with this week we're talking about mental health, trauma awareness, and how we can advocate for our community, all that stuff. And it was supposed to be just this week, and we decided in the last couple days that we're going to extend that out for 2 weeks. And so this week we're just kind of talking and going back and forth in the comments. We're doing that very intentionally. And then next week we're going to have more of those guests. Those guests I said we're going to have this week, we're going to do that next week, having more special guests. And we'll have some special guests and other people that are on this week as well, such as my mother was on here. We got somebody jumping on today, if his schedule continues to permit it, because we are talking about tough jobs, and the job that he does is one of those tough jobs. And so, you know, we want to give some credence to that and some awareness to that as well. But that is kind of the move that we're taking for today and for next week. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following. Like, I'm going to get this pointing right one day. I'm going to get the point right one day. So y'all make sure y'all do that. But we've been playing our girl, Jamaica Lachey, because, and I'll put her comment back up one more time. She's saying, hey, all. So we want to make sure that we're following her as well. The reason we're using her music so much, because I just feel like the couple songs that she got out there right now are kind of prophetic. And I feel like that fits very perfectly to what we've been talking about. Songs like I'ma Need You to Say Less and Pray More, and songs like if it ain't bringing me joy, and if it ain't bringing me love, and if it don't fill these voids, then I don't want it. That's our girl Jamaica Lachey. We've been playing those songs this week. Hopefully it's been pumping you up the way it's been pumping me up as a constant reminder. So, you know, that's that. Shout out to Mama. This is Eric's mom. Y'all miss JP right out. Y'all make sure that y'all give her some love, because that is Eric's mother. Eric, as y'all know, is moving around, and so if he can, he'll jump in. No guarantees that he will. As y'all saw where he was the other day at the Home Depot, sending people home telling them they was trash. So that's Eric. There you go. So we wish him well, and we pray for him as he's where he is. We got Rich Holmes coming on a little bit later on. And like I said, we're talking about this whole mental health thing, this whole trauma awareness and all of that, you know, we workplace issues, all of that stuff. I think it's worthy conversation. I really do think it's worthy conversation. So I'm curious right off the bat. I really am. I'm curious how many of y'all got, you know, how many of us, I'm going to say how many of y'all got. That's wrong right there. And let me give, before I ask this question, let me give one more quick shout out over on the Instagram side, because I see some folks popping in and out of there, such as my friend Anna, and I see DJ Red. What's up, DJ Red? Y'all know he be out there on the road as well, so we pray safe travel for him as well. You know, y'all, we some folks deconstructing, some folks walked away, but one thing we seem to all be doing is still praying. We all seem to know the Lord. So y'all pray for these folks as they're on their way to work, as they're on these, as they're on these, if you're from the church world, as they on these highways and byways. Red, since I can't put your comment from Instagram over on this side, then Red, I'm going to put your wife's comment over here. She said, hey, boo. So get a room. Get a room. Matter of fact, here, y'all take this. Y'all can take this track later. Red and Jamaica, y'all can have this one later. There you go. Give me all your love. That's what that track is saying. Oh man, yeah. Y'all get a room. You might want to hear that. I'm playing. No man, good times. But okay, so the question at hand, the inquiry at hand is how many of us, not how many of y'all, but how many of us have tough jobs, man? Have like tough jobs that weigh on us, weigh on our mental. And the reason I'm asking this, as we're talking about mental health, is because, for far too long, people have separated the workplace from life. And so we talk about a lot of things like work-life balance. And the reality is, the reason you have to have that balance is because most people can't just turn a switch on and off when they go to work, especially in today's world, today's economy, centered around America mostly. For most of us on here, we're from America. Shout out to the people that aren't from America, especially folks over on the Instagram side. And DJ Red said, this is a room. So not this room. You have to find you a private room. No, man. Like, a lot of us have these tough jobs. And again, for many of us, we can't just flip on a switch, right? We can't just turn a switch on and off. Like, I'm at work and now I'm this guy, and I go home and now I'm that guy. Some people can do that. Don't get me wrong. But if you really break it down and boil it down, I'm going to stop saying boil, by the way. I got to say boil. When you really boil it down, that country comes out. Me and my wife was watching that back. I kept saying boil. It boils down to this. Like, no. It boils down to this. We think we can turn this switch on and off, but if you got any level of empathy, especially if you work in things like social services, case management, juveniles, and education, if you work in those areas, and you're worth your weight in salt, if you are half your weight in salt, a quarter of your weight in salt, then you've got some level of empathy, and that empathy can't just be turned on and off, and so there's these different jobs where these things weigh on you, so let's talk about some of that, and then a little later on we'll dive into the conversation about, we'll pick up on our conversation from yesterday around church hurt and deconstruction. And don't get me twisted, I personally, and maybe because it's the nature of my job, but I really do think that the two of those things may go hand in hand on some level. I think all of this stuff goes hand in hand. We ain't got but one brain, and all that stuff filters through this one brain. And so, your church issue, your work issue, your relationship issue, the mental health issue that sometimes may be caused by all the other issues. At the end of the day, it all filters through this one brain, this one brain that we have. And so we want to be, we want to be mindful. See what I did there? Mindful of all of that stuff. We want to be mindful of all that stuff. So let's dive into some of these comments, because I see some people leaving some stuff. I see a few comments. Where was I going with that? So let's look at this real quick. Let's dive into it. Let's get into it. Let's get us some, let's get another background track. Let's get something that's got this right here. I like this one. There we go. I like this one. Let's go that route. All right, cool. So I asked the question, how many of us have tough jobs? At first I said, how many of y'all got tough jobs? But I'm going to tell y'all all right now, I got a tough job. I work in a field where we deal with violence. We deal with people who have struggled and suffered through violence, community violence, all these different violences. And that's why the conversation around trauma awareness is so important, because I was just looking at it today. A young man was killed over in West Pullman. And so, we got to do some stuff to try to get to the family and reach out to them and figure out how to make that happen. To get them some resources. And he ain't the only one. Obviously, it's a bunch of them. It's a thing that keeps going on and on and on. But when you work with people's families after they've lost someone to gun violence, or when you're dealing with a community that's been traumatized by gun violence, even if they haven't been directly impacted by it, nobody's ever pulled a weapon on you, but because it happens in your neighborhood, you walk around your neighborhood scared. You're scared to go to your car. You're scared to come in the house past a certain hour. You got to be home. You got to give yourself your own curfew. You're a grown man, a grown woman with a curfew because of the violence in your neighborhood. So you're afraid, you're scared. That's trauma. And so when you're dealing with a lot of people with that stuff, and they come in telling their stories, they come in telling their issues, you wear that. Like, you wear it, you know what I'm saying? And the problem with that is that don't, just because you wearing somebody else's issues, that doesn't mean that your issues stop. That doesn't mean your stuff goes away. You still got to come home to all of your stuff while wearing the stuff from the job, whether that was in education, whether that was in health fields. I saw someone put that in there, health fields and customer service. Like, man, customer service reps, I feel sorry for y'all, because I know how that goes. I know that's a two-way street. Y'all, sometimes customer service reps get on our nerves, especially bill collectors and cold callers, but and the spammers. But you know, but at the same token, it's some people who just they got a hard wall when it comes to customer service. I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you. That's the energy they give off. I don't even want to be here. I don't want to deal with you. That energy of you are less than, you ain't nobody. You wear that stuff. Yeah, we can say we turn the switch off all day, but for most of us, we still wear that. You gotta woosah, you gotta decompress. Some people gotta get to. That's why happy hour is the time that it is. You ever notice happy hour isn't at 7:30 p.m.? Like, happy hour is in the early evening, the late afternoon, early evening, because when people getting off work, they trying to find some kind of way to woosah, to decompress. Tough jobs, man. So let's get into it. Let's look at some of these comments here. I saw one, our girl Brony Cat, working for a juvenile probation department can be very stressful. So, you know, juvenile probation departments, just think about that array of words when you just think about that. Like, literally, just that array of words. Juveniles, that's tough. Anybody who ever worked with youths. So for all my international watchers, because I got some folks I can tell are from Norway. What's up to everybody from Norway that's over there on Instagram? I see y'all. I see some Norwegian names. Yeah, so if you don't know that word juvenile, the word juvenile basically means kids, children, people who are under the age of adulthood, right? So think about, if you've ever had to work with children, if you've ever worked with juveniles, then you know you were stressed out just by that by itself. Now, probation, so you're not dealing with juveniles who are you know, necessarily, I don't want to put a large swath across this, but you're not dealing with the kids a lot of times who we just peg like, he's going to Harvard, he's going to Yale, he's going to, you work with someone who's probably got a whole lot of underlying stuff. Not with someone, with a bunch of kids who probably got a whole lot of other underlying issues that have led them down this road to where they're getting locked up, put in juvie is like, you know, juvenile detention, so kid jail, like for the international folks, because you might not have that. We got that over here in America. You know, they got to go through that system, and then God only knows what happens when they're in that system. Matter of fact, we got studies that tell us what happens. Well, not God only knows, we know. It put people in jail, it makes them better criminals. So they're in there because you got to toughen up, and you got to be like, so, you know, these kids, and you're trying to stop them from where they are. You're trying to stop them, get them a better path going forward, but you got to go through all the mess, all the stuff. And then at the end of the day, that's your job, which means that it, like, whether you clock out, sign out, or just have to go home because you're on salary or pay, whatever the situation is, as long as you're working the job, you dealing with that stress. But then when you turn it off, you still carrying that and gotta go home. So, you know, that's tough jobs. And I think that we should, you know, make sure that we're praying for our lock stars on here, our neighbors, our lock stars, our community, praying for us as we dealing in these kinds of job situations. Let's look at what Rondo on the Rock said here. She said, tough jobs. Education is the toughest job. Yeah, like we were just talking about with kids. If you're working with youths, if you're watching my cousin Vinny, remember the youths, the youths. If you ever work with youths, I'm telling you, man, like, I used to do a summer camp at my former church. I used to do a summer camp, and I kid y'all not, like, I'm not one to get sick a lot. Like, my sinuses may act up, that the weather changed. Like right now, I told y'all, pray for your friends with sinus issues, because we are not okay. This is not our season to shine. Spring and fall are tough seasons. Going all through the summer too, because of the pollen and all that. But spring and fall, particularly for me, are tough, right? So I get, I don't really get sick, but I deal with that. But man, I got to working with them kids, and like even in the summertime, like I was coming home sick all the time. Like it was like catching stuff like what is this even? I was just sick 2 weeks ago. How am I sick again? So you got to deal with kids with their hormones and all of the changes they're going through, and depending on what age group they are, if they kindergarten through third grade, it's a lot of why and this, that, and the other. And by the time they get into about the third and fourth grade, they're starting to really get their own independence. This has been my experience. Now, educators, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've kind of anecdotally witnessed is that when they reach a certain age, let me give a shout out to my bro, Dr. Robert Marshall. I'm going to, he's over on Instagram side. I can't put his comment up here. I'm going to pause where I was saying, because I'm going to bring you on. I'm going to call you. If I don't call you today, I'm going to call you tomorrow, Robert Marshall. If I don't call you today, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Because I need you on next week. We talked about it. I need you on next week because he's got something cool that's coming up. So we need him on next week. But if you work in education, so go back to that, I'm with these kids and I'm finding myself getting sick all the time, but you got to deal through all of their issues. You got to deal through that, the health thing that comes with it, because kids are walking cesspools of disease and viruses. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care how much you love your kids. Children are walking cesspools of disease and virus. That's been my experience. That's why I can't stand sitting next to them on a plane. They cry the whole time, and then they cough on you, and then they just stare at you like you're in the wrong. Anyways, so my experience, what I saw was that kids who were up to a certain age were very, very inquisitive, very curious, fun to be around, stressful still in its own way, but generally fun to be around. And then I started liking them when they were about third to fourth and fifth grade, because, they still had this playfulness, but they can understand the world a little bit better. So you can, have a little bit deeper content, a little deeper conversation with them. You can't go too deep. They're still learning. But also around about that time, they're starting to really come into their own personalities. And they're starting to really become, their own independence. They start knowing everything. It goes from this sudden why to I know. And it's like, no, you don't. And then they go through a phase where they realize they don't know nothing. Like that little preteen phase. But then something else comes along. They don't know nothing because they, starting to look at little boys, little girls. They start looking at somebody's little nappy-head son. Your daughter start looking at somebody's nappy-head son. Your son start looking at somebody's little bow-legged daughter. And then a whole new set of stress happens all of a sudden, because love stress, when kids are in love or think they in love, the issues they come in with. And then by the time they get to high school, they're really dominating themselves. They're really trying to assert themselves and trying to find their way to have dominion in their own space. And that love thing just gets stronger. And then they get, if you got a good student, they're stressing out over grades. And if you got the students who just trying to be cool, you trying to get them to see the importance of grades. And you got some students who have nobody around them, nothing, and so they've joined with other stuff, and they start going down the wrong path. And it just, working with kids, man, I'd shout out anybody who works in education, because you out there, nobody goes into education it's just a job to have. I think most people go into education because they honestly believe they're going to change the world around them. I really honestly believe that. They think they're going to change the world around them. And, yeah. So going back to, so I pray for all of y'all in education. Going back to Brony Cat comment, she earlier said, oh God, can I find it? Yeah, there it is. Working at a juvenile probation department can be very stressful. So, to pick up on that, she also said even judges are liable to go through a mental health crisis. You know, and again, these are people you might not think would do it, but I don't think anybody goes into education or goes into, you know, even the law or anything like that. I don't think most people go in. Some people do, but I don't think most people go in with the idea, I'm here to get rich, or I'm here to, again, some people do, but education, definitely. Most people like going into education with the idea that they about to become super rich. I don't think anybody, I don't know. If you are, you might be setting yourself up for failure. So, you know, how many of y'all actually do work in childcare? I'm seeing a few childcare situations on here. Shout out to Linda. Good morning, Linda. And she put on here that she also works in childcare and that it is a challenge sometimes. Yeah. I used to work at, Linda, I don't know if you're still there. I used to work at Garden of Prayer way back in the day. Also a summer program. So I knew early on that working with youths in that capacity was not my cup of tea. That was when I was in college over the summertime, and I, you know, yeah. So there's that. Yeah. So I want to, you know, give a big special shout out to all of y'all who work with kids, man. You work with youth. I don't think anybody who got into those positions got into it because they thought they was getting rich. I think they honestly got into it for good reasons, good intention. So your emotion is already all in. When you think about it, like when you get into something, like you really put yourself into it. I mean, and think about it. If you work in the education field, if you work in legal fields, you had to go to school for this stuff. You had to go through undergrad. You had to go through, depending on what level you go, you had to go through maybe a master's program. And if you know, a doctorate program, you got to go through all these things. You got to pass some bar or some licensing thing. You go through all of this. So it's not like you're not emotionally invested in this, and yet you continue to fight, you continue moving forward, you continue going, you continue pressing, only for there to be a job that you get that within the first 18 months it has completely stressed you out. It took you 6 years to get this degree, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years of hard investment. You were already a little bit burnt out from the education world, so the graduation is a relief. You glad to be up out of there, and then you hit this job, and yeah, we're gonna change the world, and there's excitement in your eyes and all of this, and by 18 months later, you're ready to give it up. 6 years to get a degree, so that 18 months, you can burn out and decide you want to do something else. This is stress. The stress will lead you to that, man. And, you know, we have to be... you know, you have to recognize that. I'm gonna put this one up here for my girl Jamaica Lachey. I knew I saw it somewhere. Healthcare and customer care, those are Jamaica's fields, and the customer service side especially can definitely be stressful. Yeah, like I said, like, you know, y'all know how we get, y'all know how y'all get. I ain't gonna say how we get. I ain't gonna take this one. Y'all know how y'all get. I'm talking to you and you. And who's that behind you? Who's that behind you watching over there? Yeah, I'm talking to them. I'm talking to y'all. Y'all know how y'all get when y'all call customer service. Y'all call customer service and cuss them clean out. Yeah, come on, man. Y'all know how we do. Cussing customer service clean out. Like, because an order got messed up. Like, I'm waiting on a couch to get delivered right now. This couch been coming since Friday. I'm sorry, this couch been coming since last Wednesday. It's supposed to been here on Friday. They pushed it back, said it was going to come on yesterday. It still didn't come yesterday. Now they talking about they got to find some. I don't even know that my wife had to tell you all the details. They talk about they got to find this and they going to speed the delivery up. And it's like, y'all was supposed to speed the delivery up from the beginning. Now my parents are on an airplane right now. They on their way here. And in my basement, it's supposed to be a couch with the TV and all of that. Like a finished bed. And ain't no couch. Like, my parents are going to be here in a few hours, and I don't have a couch downstairs. I mean, we got furniture, don't get it twisted. But the area that we're setting up to make nice and make it look, there's no couch there. So, who do I call? I call customer service. I didn't call them. My wife called them. she's direct, and she'll, say what she's thinking. She ain't gonna raise her voice and cuss people out. Now, me on the other hand, I'm real cool. I promise y'all, I'm real cool. I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna go way off the rail. But at a certain point, I just started getting real cold. Like, and at the end of the day, I have to sometimes check myself, because that customer service rep, they ain't got nothing to do with that order going in or out. They just are a buffer zone between you and the shipping department that messed your order up. Like, they just a buffer zone. And sometimes, we call in these different companies, you call your Ashley Furnitures or your Wayfarers or whatever, and, you call them up, and the customer service rep, they just somebody off in India somewhere. And that don't do nothing but for Americans make us even more upset. I mean, think about it. Come on. You pick up the phone, press 1 for English. 1, hello, how are you? I ain't trying to be derogatory or nothing, but I'm saying that thick, heavy accent, when you already in a stressful situation and you trying to hear it on the cell phone, and the cell phone going in and out because reception is bad, at a certain point, you snap on these customer service agents, and y'all know how we do. Now, that customer service agent is on the other end of the phone. They get done with you. They're going to say, thank you, have a nice day. And then 10 seconds later, they picking up the phone for somebody else who does the exact same thing. By the time you get to half of your shift on a Monday, you over it. I'm sick of these people. I don't care about none of y'all. I'm ready to throw all of y'all away. I hope you never get your couch. I hope you never get that little outfit. You don't need it anyways. You start taking attitude. It's Monday at 2 p.m. and that's how you already are. You still got to make it to Friday. And you got mandated to work on Saturday. Now, you got to deal with the stress. So, we got to give grace to people. I got to remind myself of that, because the worst place I am is, on the road. Yeah, definitely on the road. Y'all, I gotta say what's up to Lady K Ellis. That's Kellen Ellis. Y'all go follow her. She's on YouTube with us. Y'all go follow her. That is Pastor Bill's wife, and she is a powerhouse. Like, she is. We were on live together with my mom on Tuesday, and we had a really, really, really good time on that conversation. It was really cool, and we're continuing that conversation, of course, on Friday. That would have been a great segue to make my announcement, actually. Matter of fact, I'm going to make that a segue to make my announcement. I'm going to get myself some water, and we're going to listen to some music. But on this week, on Saturday, matter of fact, not even this week no more, now just in a couple of days, and it's looking, we got some folks coming. So on this week, my mother is coming into town. I told you she's on a plane. Where's that graphic? Let's get that graphic up there. There it is. There it is. This Saturday, Secure Atmospheres for Family Effectiveness, Part 2. You want to come, dude? Yeah, so I don't even know why I just did that voice. I think I'm excited because my parents are on a plane. Y'all, I'm really excited because my dad is coming as well. So anyways, this Saturday, we are going to be at APC Morgan Park over on the theater side. We got a really cool spot where we're going to be set up. I'm telling y'all, it's a really cool spot where we're going to be set up. And so it's going to be sunny. It's going to be bright. It's going to be a really good conversation. It's really going to be a really good time. But that conversation, we started it off day before yesterday, I believe it was, when my mother was on here. Oh, yeah, Tuesday, day before yesterday. And so we started that conversation off talking about, ways that I think we started that conversation talking about self, that trichotomous self, that, your mind, your spirit, your physical, how those things line up with each other. And then we tied that a little bit on Tuesday night to how when you find and get in tune with your own self, how that should create a healthy person, a healthy you, so that you can have healthy families. And then those healthy families in turn create healthy communities. And so, we're discussing that, and we're discussing that on Saturday in person. Now, this, these online sessions, we don't really have a chance to really talk back and forth. We can converse in and out of the comments. We can do that. But to really just be in the space and talk to somebody, it's different. It creates a different environment, and that's exactly what we want to do. We believe that stronger families create safer communities, and so that really is the goal behind that. Listen, y'all, it is 8:10. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play a song. We're gonna come back. We're gonna keep talking this conversation around tough jobs. We're gonna stay there for a little while, just for a little bit, and then we're gonna keep it moving. But right now, we're still keeping the conversation going about tough jobs. Right now, I'm going to play a song. I want to play the song, our girl, Jamaica Lachey. She's been our prophetic psalmist for the week. So I want to play her song. The song is Say Less. And I'll tell you why I want to play this one. Again, y'all have heard it already, so y'all should know it by now. The song is Say Less. And the tagline of it, I'ma need you to say less, pray more. We talking about tough jobs, and this is the question I'm gonna leave as we put the music on. How many of us, I ain't saying y'all, this one I can take for myself. How many of us, I'm right in here with y'all on this one. How many of us have been ready to snap at any point in our life as a result of the job? This mustache is obnoxious. It's just in the way. Like, how many of us have been ready to snap as a result of working on a job? And this is, again, this is the question at hand. We have these stressful jobs, and you can only take so much stress before you blow, before you pop, before you snap. So, with that in mind, say less, pray more. So let's listen to our girl Jamaica Lachey. I'ma need you to say less, pray more. This is Jamaica Lachey, and we'll be right back.
I'ma need you to say less, pray more. 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 And that's a mark to the promise.
Stuck in the lines, they tell when you cry. Complaining and wailing on low his eyes. Silver and gold have I not, but I serve you this knowledge is straight out the pot. Yeah, you should be thankful for what he's done. Praising his name, you already won. Second to no man, get with the program. God is the source for your overcome. Yeah, my Lord is the source for your overcome. Yeah, with Christ the source you'll overcome. Yeah, the battle's already won. My Lord is your overcome. I'ma need you to work. Rejection, it was flexing, but I had to keep on stepping. Stop the talking, start the walking. Who knew silence was a weapon? Still holding on, but I'm praying more. God is no fable, he raised the score. Circle, smaller lessons learned. Source is the way I further this journey. Please give me your attention, they just listen, he's the truth. The only one who knows and recognizes the real you. So if you feel me, if you with me, if this resonate with you, stop the playing, no more gaming, add some work and
that's
see
a word to the promise.
Say oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Say oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'ma need you to say less, pray more. I'ma need you to say less, pray more.
Say oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Jamaica Latte. Jamaica Lachey. Oh my God. Y'all, that song. That was Jamaica Lachey. I'm going to need you to say less. I swear, I love that song. I really do. I love that song. I love the lyrics of it. So I'm not just playing songs this week just because they're, jams. Like, nah, I ain't going to play no trash either. I'm going to play a bop now. It's the first thing in the morning. Don't give me no whack stuff. But I'm also playing these songs because they're, I'm also playing these songs because they are, what's the word I really want to use? Because I want to put more on you than you can bear, Jamaica. But these songs are prophetic, if you will, and I don't want to use that in a, in a spooky sense of the word, but I mean it in the sense of, anything we talk about and say on here, you hear it in the moment and little nuggets might stick out to you. But if a song gets stuck in your head, it's stuck in your head. You got it. It's there. That's why we teach kids the alphabet by a song. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? I heard they changed the alphabet song. They took out the L, M, N, O, P and made it like more distinct. And I say no. But, songs get stuck in your head. So I'm choosing songs that can get stuck in your head. If you can't remember nothing else, as we're talking about tough jobs and all of that, if you can't remember nothing else, maybe just remember sometimes just say less. Take a little woosah. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out again. Say a little prayer and just walk away. Because if you don't, it will stress you out. So I asked the question, I said, how many of us have crazy jobs? There's Dr. Robert Marshall. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him as well. There he is on Facebook. He was with us on Instagram. He done moved over here to the face space. The space of face. He done moved over here with us. And we're gonna have him on next week. I'm just putting it out there. Dr. Marshall, I'm gonna call you. If not today, then I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I got to get my mom today and take care of some stuff. So I'm picking up my parents and getting all that handled for this weekend. With that announcement that we made, y'all please be mindful of that announcement. That's sponsored by our Community Healing Resource Center, which we've talked a ton about this week. And we'll continue to talk about them for the next couple of weeks. But Dr. Marshall has a big thing that's coming up next weekend, and I want him to come on next week and talk about that because it's a really important topic. I'm not even going to open the matter of fact, no, yes I am about, and Dr. Marshall will clean my conversation up next week when we get you on. But I think the number was something like 80% of males, black, and I want to say it was black males specifically. That word specifically, a tear a black man up on it. But specifically, black males specifically, who I want, and I could be wrong, 80% have suffered some level of sexual trauma. So whether that be being, and I hate to use triggering words, but my language ain't strong enough yet to use the proper words, I guess, so y'all can correct me. But I want to get muted, but I want to address the issue. They've either been molested, taken advantage of, or exposed to sex too soon, prematurely exposed to sex. Something like 80-something% of black males. My numbers could be wrong, but the basic crux of that is that it's a lot of us, a lot of dudes, and it gets really swept under the rug because males, of course, we egg each other on. Oh, you got that? Oh man, you was talking to, I don't know, say it was a teacher, for instance. If you a 14-year-old boy and your teacher just took advantage of you, your friends are more giving you high fives than if you're a 14-year-old girl and your teacher just took advantage of you. That's a court case. And so those things get swept under the rug. I'm just, that's my own take. And so he's got a conference that's coming up, and man, listen, free to register. He's coming on. Hopefully I'll get that graphic first too before we get you on, Dr. Marshall. So that conversation is necessary. Shout out to Miss Mary Griffin. I'm gonna say a couple of real quick what's ups to peoples, what's ups to the peoples. So shout out to Miss Mary Griffin from APC Morgan Park. So good to see you on here with us. And of course y'all saw Lady K, she was on here with us. There's our girl Miss Brenda Rose, and I'm gonna put Miss Brenda Rose's comment up here because I think it's a good segue into our conversation. She's one of our favorite famous lock stars that's on with us every morning, Miss Brenda Rose. And she says, I have definitely, but had to catch myself because I'm walking in the light of a Christian. That's not what we are supposed to do. So she's walking in the light of a Christian. That's not what we're supposed to do. But I shut the office down from 8:30 to 5. You have to use psychology to get them where it bothers them. Sorry, I cannot see this. This light is in my eye. I'm trying to look at this little screen. Yeah. The letters are so small. I'm just like, this comment about to wear me out this morning. I'm struggling. I'm like, y'all can read it for yourselves. There you go. I'm up here looking like I'm reading at a second grade education level because I can't see. Like, I mean, the light. Y'all gonna see these glasses come back out in a minute. Y'all go just to block the light a bit. But yeah. So, step outside the parking lot. It's okay. Yeah, sometimes. So we were talking about how many of us have snapped. Some of us have snapped or have been close to snapping. For instance, there's Jamaica, who did us the songs Say Less, Pray More. She gave us the great song Say Less, Pray More. And there she goes. I've been ready to, and I have. I've snapped. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Hold on, wait, because there was another one I wanted to find in here. Oh my goodness. But I'm gonna put this one up right here. That's why I played that song. Say Less, Pray More. Say less, pray more. As Rhonda says, it's a good reminder when we're dealing with people at work. And, she might get it as a tattoo. Say less and pray more. Or this right here. Boom. I like that. I like that a lot. I might join you in that one. I don't know. We'll all be like some Jamaica fans. There we go. But yeah, like when you're dealing with people at work, like that's, what it is too. So here's the other thing, right? And this is what I think happens. And this is just me talking. I don't know how your workplace environment works or what your anecdotes have been. But my anecdote is this. This is my little story. When people are at work and you're dealing in certain industries, like we've already discovered and like we've already said, when you're dealing in industries such as healthcare, customer service, education, working with youth, in and out of the court system, churches. I'm gonna throw churches in there because that counts as well. That's why pastors burn out. Pastors and ministers burn out. People burn out. So we get, these fields that the field itself is stressful. But here's the problem with it. We ain't the only person working at that job. We ain't the only person working at that office. We're not the only person working in that school. We're not the only person working at that church. We're not the only person working in that law firm or at that courthouse or whatever, in that call center, that hospital, that clinic. We're not the only person that's working there. We've got a whole staff of coworkers, staff, faculty, and staff and crew who are working with us as well. And guess what? They've been traumatized. I'm going to use the word traumatized if it's all right. They've been traumatized by the same stuff you have. So what happens? The same way you feel like you about ready to snap, so is Miss Brenda next. I ain't talking about Miss Brenda Rose. I'm just using the name Miss Brenda. So maybe I use a different name. So is Miss Bonquisha next to you. The only difference is Bonquisha is about that life a whole lot quicker than you about that life. So Bonquisha, as she starts getting upset, she starts getting more vocal. She starts responding this way, and she starts being ready to cuss everybody out, and she doing all of this and all of that. And you the kind that's real calm. Like it takes you a lot to get to that. It takes you a lot to get to that point, and then Bonquisha is over here just going off. You like, girl, please, like just chill out. Oh my God, like. Because, all it takes is you. I need 4 or 5 seconds from wildin'. I'm about 4 or 5 seconds. Y'all remember that song? Me and my wife play it randomly every now and again. Like Rihanna with Kanye West and Paul McCartney. About 4 or 5 seconds from wild. You about 4 or 5 seconds from wildin'. Bonquisha is negative 4 or 5 seconds from wildin'. She already wildin', which is only getting you more riled up. So you got the stress of the job itself. And now you also got the stress of Bonquisha, who done went and got her other little friends. She done went and found Becky, because see, Becky and Bonquisha get along real good when they talking about the drama of the workplace. Now you get them on political, you get them on politics, you get them on culture. They don't see eye to eye about much. But one thing they can agree on is this job sucks. And so they both all riled up, and they sit right across from you. So now what could have been an otherwise calm day for you, and you could have navigated through it, your workplace environment, because they've been traumatized the same way you have, and they deal with it differently. And so it all piles up and builds up. And so now you got to deal with that. Sometimes you just got to take a minute, step outside, say a little prayer, take a breather, say woo, whatever it takes. Go get some water, just take a walk around the block, so depending on what neighborhood you work in. Take a walk around the block. Maybe you got a gym at your office. Go down there and just lift some weights. Just go somewhere and scream. My friend Runa in Norway, maybe I shouldn't use the name, but my friend in Norway took me out to the beach one time, where it was cold too. Like the water was crashing. It was really loud. It was like the mountains. I mean, it's beautiful, right? The mountains are crashing and stuff. And she said, when I was going through my stuff, I used to drive out here and just scream. Like, she said she would go out there. She said, because it was so loud, you can't really, and I mean, it was loud. The waves crashing through the mountains is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you could just feel the power. And it was particularly cloudy, and the rain and the water is like blowing in your face, and the wind, I mean, it's hitting you, pow, pow, pow. And it's really loud. She said, I just come out here and just, sometimes you got to, whatever you got to do. For somebody, that's go to your prayer closet. For somebody, they got to go into their prayer closet. For somebody, they got to go scream. Sometimes, I ain't going to advocate for it. I'm just going to say sometimes you just got to beat a dude. I'm not going to say that I'm supposed to be bringing healing to the community. I was going to say sometimes you got to beat somebody to a pulp just to get your point across. But I advocate for healing in the community and nonviolence. So let's find nonviolent methods. Let's get Brody Cat up here real quick. I don't know if you saw your comment. I actually did see a comment. I was trying to find it, but thank you for putting this back up here. I've snapped out a few times at my job. It's been nothing. Has nothing to do with being what y'all call a Christian. It's about going on with you mentally. What's going on with you mentally? Yeah. Like this is not. And this is why I'm always wanting to be, I come from this mindset of, church world, Christian world, because that's who I am. That's just what I know. That's where I'm from. That's what I've accepted. That's what I believe. That's how I've governed and lived my life. But you know what you find out, just because you live your life in one way or another, because whether I was a Christian, a Buddhist, a Muslim, an atheist, an agnostic, names, a vampire, a goth, a Wiccan, it don't matter who or what I am, we all got this. We all got this mind. We all got this brain. We all have personalities. We all have communities that we live in, work in, and work environments and all those things. And because we all have this brain, we're all prone to this brain having some issues due to the stresses that are there. And so, if in your Christianity you find something that helps you, for instance, prayer, or for instance, you hold on to what we call the word. You hold on to something in there, some scripture, some verse that basically tells you, don't, be angry, but sin not, or don't be so quick to anger, or be slow to speak. Maybe you hold on, treat others how you want to be treated. Maybe you hold on to this stuff and it helps you, but for somebody else, that might be something else. But here's the thing. When the hits the fan, when the boo-boo hits the fan, I'm trying not to cuss on my show. When the hits the fan, now you got to actually lean into whatever you hold on to. So whether that be something that's in the Christian world, in the church world, whether that be your music, whether that be your poetry, whether that be, you got to find healthy ways to lean into it. Very quick, many of us find ways to numb it, Many of us find ways to just numb it. We just find drinks, we find blunts, we find pills, we find booties. Yeah. Come on, let's call it for real. Ain't none of y'all's kids up at 7:30, 8:30 in the morning on spring break watching Zeke live in the morning. So we can talk like adults. Sometimes you find some booty, like put some music on. We can't just say something like that and not have music. Matter of fact, let's play this track. You can't say something like that and not have music going. Sometimes you try to find drugs, you try to find alcohol, you try to find sex. Who was it? Solange had the song, I Tried to Drink It Away. Rhonda was talking about that the other day. We try to find all these coping mechanisms that help to numb stuff or help us to forget stuff, help us to just kind of, I guess those things help us to cope, but they're so momentary and you got to go back to them. The problem is if you keep going back to drugs, this thing might become addicted. You keep going to alcohol, this thing might become addicted. If you keep going to women or men or whatever floats your boat, it becomes addictive because it doesn't really heal anything. It just numbs it. And I don't care what hospital you go to, if the anesthesiologist is coming in there talking about they about to heal you, no, they not finna heal you. They gonna numb you so that somebody else can do some healing. But even in then, the numbing is only so that somebody else can actually get in and do the surgery or heal you. Like, it's not the anesthesia that heals you. That just knocks you out while you go through the healing process. But the reality is, thank you, Rhonda on the Rocks. She's my neighborhood cusser. Like those things, they feel great in the moment. They feel so good in the moment. Like, oh my God, I'm not gonna tell y'all what to do, but y'all adults, y'all know what lives y'all have lived. If you go back on it and be real with yourself, real with the situation, real with the moment that you are living in that time, I think you would look at that and say, boy, I was having a good time. If it wasn't a good time, I would have kept going back to it. Y'all know how preachers be trying to make it like, sin was the worst time of my life. No, it wasn't. Like, it got to a point. Okay, I'll give you that. It got to a point, such as the prodigal son or something like that. But most stuff that we try to mask, the reason we're using it to help. Oh, Rhonda, you said mask. Look at that. that try to help us to mask or to just cover up or to numb pain. Those things don't heal us, but we go to them because they feel good on some level. They make us feel good. They make us, that's what they do. And that's why we get stuck in those things. That's why it becomes addictive. Like, if you drank a beer and you didn't like it, you're probably not going to go grab another beer. If you liked it, you're probably going to grab another one. If you like it too much, you're going to keep grabbing them. And then at some point, somebody might look at you and be like, yo, you an alcoholic. You got a problem. You need to deal with that. See, we don't want to compile new problems on top of the problems that we're trying to deal with. This is why I advocate for therapy. We've been talking about therapy. We've been talking about that. That's why I advocate for it, so that you can find somebody you can talk to and get that stuff off your chest. I mean, if you ain't got nobody, if nothing else, at least get you a good set of friends. Like, and I know we all like to be on this, no new friends, and ain't nobody trustworthy no more, and ain't nobody I can go to. Like I wanna maybe challenge us in this, because this had to challenge me as well. One of the first things we've mentioned this a number of times this week. One of the first things that we do during seasons of stress, high stress, or even depression, suicidal thoughts, when we're dealing with those, when we're dealing with those situations and those issues, one of the first things we do is we pull away from everybody. At the very least, if you're not ready to go to some counselor, if you don't think that's necessary, at the very least, you need people around you. You need friends around you, at least some family around you, folks who have a different perspective, who will allow you to vent. Now, please hear me. I don't personally believe that you'll find that with 12 and 15 different people. You're going to have a few people that you can be for real vulnerable with. At most, maybe 3 or 4. Like, but you know, if you getting in there, I got 20 people that I'm just super vulnerable with, where I just tell all the deepest stuff. You got 19 of them who gonna go tell somebody else. You might as well just get on Instagram and go live and just air yourself out, because that's exactly what's going to happen anyways. You know, you got to have at least somebody, you know, but then again, there we go. We get into that, and then people get hit by that, and then they have trust issues. You got to have somebody you can talk to. You know, for me, if it wasn't for my own prayer life, you know, speaking of Jamaica Lachey, say less, pray more. If it wasn't for my own prayer life, you know, that felt to me like someone I had that I can go to, that I can talk to, that realness that I had there. That was someone I could go to. That God for me was someone I could go to, I could talk to. And I felt like he was talking back. But even with that, and this is why I will also advocate for this. Don't let prayer become your crutch. Because even with that, you still need somebody. Even the Bible, for all my Christian folks, even the Bible says, don't forsake the assembly of the saints. There's a power in community. There's a power in togetherness. Old African proverbs like it takes a village to raise a child. What about theories that we've looked at like failure to thrive, where babies have to be touched? I mean, really, honestly, like humans need each other. So, you know, you got to find somebody you can talk to. You got to find somebody. Ron, I'm going to put one more comment that you put up here. I bought a punching bag when I was dating my ex. It really helped get that aggression out. Listen, now that I got some extra space in my home, I think I'm going to get me a punching bag. I've been saying this for years that I need a punching bag. I actually wanted one of those little knockover punching bags, the ones that you punch and it knocks over and comes back. Like, so here's a little known thing, and then I got a comment from Chris Hood here. It's a real long one, and so I need to get some glasses so I can read it. These aren't reading glasses; these are block the light glasses. But I'm gonna wear them like reading glasses so I can see his comment. But I'll give y'all another stressful thing. If you're in the entertainment world, that is a stressful life, because again, this passion that you already have, like we said earlier, that's in you for what you're doing. You've already got such a passion for it, like, and so you know when you're in the entertainment world. Like, say you're doing, you know, let's say you're doing music, and, you know, you're working on this song, you're working on this track, and then it's just not coming out the way you want it to. Like, you done put so much energy into it. Like, man, if y'all think I'm smiley and happy and jovial and all this stuff like that, come in here when I'm in the crux of making a song. I mean, come in here when I'm really in the highlight of making a song and making music. Come in here when I'm doing that, and you gonna see a whole different Zeke Locke. I'm telling you. Like, I done broke desks, I done punched, and like literally, the reason I got to buy a new desk ain't just because I need a better desk for the space situation that, you know, I'm moving my studio into. I need a new desk because I punched a hole in the other one. Like, I'm being vulnerable, y'all. Y'all know me. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be vulnerable. Literally, like, I still got a cut right. Actually, that's maybe where this cut is from. This may not be from that brick wall. This may be from when I hit the desk. Like, this tray that this thing is sitting on right now, I broke one of those. I threw this chair across the room before. I had to replace the wheels on it. Like, it gets really real in here. I said, I need a punching bag. But stress, like, and then you doing something you love, but why you so stressed out? Because you love it. That's why. You feel passionate about it. And you wear all of that weight. Let me put this comment from Hood, then we're going to play one more song. Working for Chicago Public Schools has taught me a lot about self-control and keeping my faith strong. Sometimes it's not the students that push you to your limits. It's the adults. It can be frustrating. Y'all see me trying to drag words out because the light is in my eye. It can be frustrating when those who control your paycheck mess up your pay week after week. And it becomes an even bigger issue when teachers bring unnecessary drama into the environment. The key is staying focused and keeping your mindset elevated, even when it feels like they're pushing you to your breaking point. Like, yeah, so you know, I think a lot of us, as we're discovering here, have been pushed to these different breaking points. We've been pushed to these breaking points in workplace environments with the work that folks do. And again, you got to find some mechanism. You got to find some coping mechanism. Now, again, I'm not going to tell you what you need to get. You know what that is for you. Some of y'all get with your girls and y'all go to brunch and y'all have a good old time with mimosas and get your woosah moment. And by the time you get back to work on Monday, you recharged and you ready. For some people, that's going to church. You go to church on Sunday, you hear a good word, you hear good songs and music, and it charges you up. And you might even need a recharge in the middle of the week on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night or whatever that is. It's that. Maybe for some of y'all, maybe just cuddling up with your boo and watching some Netflix. Or if you do like me and my wife, Netflix just watches us because the moment I sit down is like I got about 12 movies I got to go back to on Netflix, episodes of shows that my wife woke up one day. If she can hear me, she gonna get mad. But she woke up one day trying to convince me that she knew this movie. I don't even remember what movie it was, but I was asking her something that happened. She was like, "No, I seen that because the girl," and she was mixing like 3 different movies together because she kept falling asleep. Sometimes you just need a nap. Can I park right there for a minute before we go to this next break? Sometimes you just need a nap, and if you like me, you don't take enough of those. You're doing 5 and 6 different things, like getting up early in the morning. I'm up 6 a.m., 6:30 in the morning. And sometimes I haven't been to bed till 3, and I ain't gonna say sometimes, most of the time, that's kind of how it's going. So I'm always lacking sleep. That's why I always get on here like this. Then I got to rush when we get off and get into the office. And when we get in there, we got to deal with stuff. And I see somebody I'm about to bring on stage in a little bit here because we work together in this capacity. And, yeah, it gets stressful, but sometimes you take a nap. You just go to sleep, so you might just need to get you a hotel, get yourself a room by yourself. To Rhonda's point, I think she was making a point to Chris Hood. Shout out to Chris Hood. I think she was making a point back to his comment where she said that it's the adults. When you're in education, it's the adults. And yes, I want to put this up here too, Rhonda. Usually people who are the most jovial up front are very different behind closed doors. Yeah, they may either be, yeah, those naps will bless your soul. Yes, Bronny. Real talk. Sometimes the people who are very jovial up front, very different story backstage. Some of them are very jovial in front, but very mean back doors. Some of them very jovial up front, but very stressed out back doors. Some of them are very jovial or very happy, very in your face, they bring the energy, they bring the party, they make the room feel good. Then they go home and they're depressed, they're suicidal. Look at people like, we always bring up Robin Williams, right? We always bring him up because he made the whole world laugh for decades. And then one day, that was it. Take an Anthony Bourdain, same thing, right? I mean, these people who, in order to have the kind of job they have, you have to be very much likable and in people's faces. It's true. So, I am one of those people. I am definitely one of those ones. I'm jovial. I'm in your face. But behind the scenes, I was struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts and all of that. Y'all hear me? Y'all know my slogan, throw 2022 away. That's my... I might even make a graphic that every time I bring it up, I just throw it up there. Throw 2022 away. I might need a graphic that says that because I was lovable. I was jovial. I was coming off happy and I was going home trying to figure out how I was going to end my life. So, check on your people. Check on your people. Check on your people. Yeah. And then we're going to segue into this. Do you remember when there was a slew of pastors committing suicide? Yeah. And it still happens to this day. Yeah. There was a time where there was a lot of pastors either committing suicide, burning out and walking away, which still happens today. And then you had ones where finally, God rest his soul, Zachary Timms, the one that used to look like Will Smith, The one who F it, I just say it. It's Zeke Live in the Morning. I can say what I want on here. The one who Paula White hijacked his church and then committed it to the cult of Donald Trump. Yeah. That church, Without Walls. Y'all know the song? No. Without Walls was Paula White. I'm sorry. Zachary Timms was in Orlando. That was Dude Destiny, I think. But anyways, when he passed away, he passed away with drugs in his system, and there was and we're very quick, depending on what your profession is. If you're a teacher or a preacher or a cop or a social worker or something like that, and you get caught with that kind of scenario, people look at you like you the problem, and that's what's wrong with everything today. And nobody's asking the question, what drove us to that in the first place? What drove us to snapping off in the first place? What drove us to the drugs and the alcohol in the first place? What drove us to checking out all these females and these males and just reckless, looseless love? What drove us to that? And that's what we're dealing with today. And I'm just, again, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a dude with a morning show asking questions. That's all I am. I'm just asking some questions. And the reason I ask these questions is so that you can think about this stuff, and hopefully it gets your day going. And by the time we get done with this show, because it's 10 o'clock by the time we're done, but when we're done with it, hopefully you can go through the rest of your day at least with this stuff on your mind. Sometimes you just need somebody to put something on your mind. I'm gonna transition to this next song, but real talk, like McDonald's and Coca-Cola, there's an argument to be made that they never have to advertise ever again. I think there's an argument to be made that they don't really have to advertise ever again, because all over the world, the logos of Coca-Cola and McDonald's. Those are two of the most famous logos. I think Coca-Cola has the official ranking as the most famous logo in the world. And then you take like a McDonald's, those golden arches, you know what that is when you see it. Like it's just, but yet they still get on and they advertise. You still are very prone to seeing a McDonald's commercial, a Coca-Cola commercial, even with that. Why? Because they want to keep it on your brain. They want to keep it at the forefront of your mind. They already know they got you. If you're a Coke drinker, you're a Coke drinker. If you're a Pepsi drinker, you're a Pepsi drinker. They know they got you, but how do they get you to go back in there and get something that they already got you on? They put it in the forefront of your mind. And unfortunately, what ends up happening, like in these workplace situations that we're talking about, these church situations, because we'll start moving into that a little bit later on. But what happens is that's what's at the forefront of your mind. So that's what you deal with. But hopefully by the time you get off of Zeke Live in the Morning, when you lock in with Zeke Live, hopefully we put some new things at the forefront of your mind. We don't shy away from, tough conversation. We don't shy away from it is what it is. But we do at least try to put different options. Something that works for me may not work for you. Something that works for you may not work for the person sitting next to you. But if we know the smorgasbord of options, I love buffets. If we know the different foods that are on the buffet, we can all choose what works for us and all get to our healing even quicker. And so that's the main goal. That's what we're trying to get to. I'm going to play a song because I just put myself on the line here. And I just said that I'm the kind who I be in here working on music, and then I will be ready to punch a punching bag because I get so riled up. So why not play one of my own songs? And I chose this one. It's in the pre-show, so you probably heard it right before I came on, but I'm gonna play it again because I want to put some positive thoughts in your mind, and plus I want to play my own song because I need to hear this. No, real talk though. I want you, whenever I play a song, like I said with Jamaica, listen to the words, listen to the lyrics. Take the lyrics on. It'll be a bop. It'll be a jam. It might be a groove. It might be a vibe. But whatever it's going to be, whatever I play is going to have some lyrics that I want you to hear. And I want it to make sense to you. So let me play my own single. This is called I'm Walking. You can get this on all streaming platforms. So check it out.
Now if you got a little rhythm, move left to right. A new experience, baby, go and hit your stride. And who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? And when the grooves get good, don't right to left. Shut up, y'all. We got grab the tread. Now who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? I'm walking. Then stretch and walk it out like you know your plans you have for me. Venom, evil, it's
Open up door, they took me down a path I ain't never been before. Looking at the road, I don't see a lot of space. Guess I gotta drop my load, cause you're picking up the pace. Don't leave me to die, be by my side. I get a little anxious, please be my guide. I got my feet shot, I've been prepping for the moment I would get the green light. So if you see me, I'm rolling like feet. Don't fail me now.
Like I am by faith. Oh Lord, I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, say I am. I'm walking. When my eyes can't see it right, will be my guide. Oh yeah, I'll follow. When I don't understand, I'll surrender to your plan for me. Go ahead, get Papa. I'm a walking. Oh yeah. I'm walking. 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 Yeah, I'm walking. Yo, that's my own song. I'm walking. My own song. My own music. Brody Cat said it's hard to listen to the words when it's a groove. Yo, if you walking, the song talk about walking by faith. Why are we walking by faith? Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So if you walking towards something that you ain't got no faith in, you are setting yourself up for failure. You got to at least be able to vision it and see it. I hope y'all are walking on today. Hey, that was Jamaica Lachey on there, and my little brother Jason Jones. They were singing with me. That was my own group, and I played that song because one, I told y'all we playing songs with words that mean something, and so there's that, you know. Y'all might as well go ahead and throw the walking in the comments. Y'all might as well go ahead and look at that. People putting the walking signs up. Absolutely. And again, I'm playing it because the words make sense. The words matter. And that's why we're playing the songs that we're choosing on today. Because we're talking about all this stress and all this other stuff. And it's hard to keep your faith in something that you really, really, really believe in. Again, most of us, if you're blessed enough, you got a job that's right along the you can if you've been blessed and you've got a job that's in the field that is something that you love to do, and you still got to deal with these stresses and all that stuff, and so you got to keep the faith some kind of way. You got to keep the faith some kind of way. Y'all, I got somebody here with me on today, man. I got somebody else that is here with me on today. I'm trying to make sure he can hear me. We're having some technicality issues. So we're making sure he can hear, because we don't want to bring somebody on. They can't hear nothing. We want to make sure that that they can hear us talking. So Alex, you let me know if you can hear talking. There you go. All right, bet. Cool. Y'all, I'm going to bring someone who has become like a big brother to me. I call him a superstar because he out here in these streets for real. Like, he is a superstar. He's the boots on the ground person. So y'all know the job that I do. I talk about it all the time. I work for what's called a community healing resource center. That's why we've dedicated this whole week to mental health, trauma awareness, ways you can advocate for your communities. That's why I've done this, because I work in that field, and so we get to see firsthand a lot of different things. I told you I was just reading about a shooting that happened
10 minutes from my site, right? Just the day before yesterday, we was on wishing happy birthdays and all this other stuff, and yet the young man lost his life, right? Our communities are struggling, suffering, and we want to deal with that. Today we talk about how you deal with doing stuff in your community, deal with stuff with the job that you have when you stressed out yourself. And so, we just want to give some presents today. And I want to bring this person on because this dude, like I said, he has become, I call him superstar. He's the superstar. He gonna get on here. The first thing he probably gonna say is superstar, and I'm gonna beat him to it. I beat him to it. So there you go. I beat him to it already. So there it goes right there. I want y'all to do me a favor and y'all make sure y'all put some love in the comments real quick. Put some hearts up for my bro, the one and only Mr. Alex Brown.
What's going on, Zeke, man? You the superstar. You got that song that I'm mad I couldn't hear it. You know what I mean?
I'll send it to you so you can.
Yeah, I was waiting,
you
looking forward to hearing it. My partner in the background, she was waiting to hear it.
Man. See these technical difficulties. StreamYard be StreamYard. We use StreamYard to platform our show, and StreamYard be giving us issues every day. So we always got.
You the superstar, man. You got the hit song for to be number one in the country.
Wait a minute. Yes, I'll take that.
How you doing
Alex
this morning?
Brown.
Hello, everybody.
Y'all say what's up to my bro Alex. What's up? What's up, Doc? What's up, man? How you feeling?
Good morning.
How you feeling this morning?
And I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm not too bad. It's super early. It's too early in the morning. It's just way too early. Like,
Man, you the hardest working man in America.
I need to sit down somewhere and take a nap. That's what I need to do.
Man, you be working.
Man, I do. That's why I'm advocating for naps. I'm telling everybody else to take a nap, and I ain't even taking them myself. So,
I know, right? Naps are good. Naps are very good.
Yeah, they're necessary. Yeah, Man, so, dude, we've been having this conversation around, of course, the work that we do. We try to get people to the kinds of healing that they need, specifically around things like, the people dealing with their mental health and stress, but specifically around things like violence and gun violence and all of that. And then you also work in some really interesting fields with folks who have the Decarceration Fellowship. I was gonna call it something completely different. I don't know what I was gonna call it. The Decarceration Fellowship. So folks who we want to end permanent punishments for and all of that. So you out here in the community, you always doing some kind of a rally or a canvassing effort. Like, everybody. Y'all, when I say this dude knows everybody, he knows everybody. He's the superstar. So we've been having this conversation today around that work and that passion, while still dealing with our own stuff and still dealing with our own life and our own, just workplace stress you out, life stress you out, family stress you out, mess around and be the wrong day and the McDonald's employee stress you out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking your order. But you still got to get up every day and then go and advocate and do stuff for people when you're dealing with your own stuff. So tell us a little bit about you, man, how you got into the work and what keeps you going and all of that kind of stuff. Because I think, it's good to hear from folks. And y'all, before I let them talk real quick, I want to make sure y'all understand something. This dude is great at what he does. So I know he ain't doing it under with no stress going on. I know that. And yet he still shows up and does the work at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that resonates with all the people who are probably on here watching right now. They probably in that same boat. And so, I asked you to come on because we get a chance to work closely in that capacity. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do and all that stuff. Yeah.
Before I start, But what do the CHRCs know about this show?
Yeah. So I was supposed to have like Dr. P on this week, and I was supposed to have like Sierra on and all that. And then the way the conversation went this week, we kind of got into some other stuff. And so we decided to extend our mental health week into 2 weeks. So next week is when I'm going to have different guests on and stuff like that, So like Robert Marshall. Yeah, like Robert Marshall, he'll be on. Matter of fact, he just sent me his flyer. So hopefully I can get that uploaded before we leave for a thing that he got going on. I was going to have Vince. I was thinking about having Vince on today, but I think I'm going to have him on next week. I want y'all on together, but I felt like just us. But yes, absolutely. Go ahead. Stop running my mouth.
So, of course, I'm system impacted. I'm a returning citizen. I I did state and federal time, and when I got out of the federal system this time, I had to go to a halfway house because I didn't have nowhere to go, and I ended up going to a halfway house that was connected to an organization that assists returning citizens. So when I got arrested in the feds, one of the first things I tried to do was to change my ways and to give myself some different opportunities. And so all I did was just work and go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got out, working, as a janitor in the federal system, probably making, $50 a month.
Mm.
Um, when I got out, I had strict movement, so I couldn't move. So I was only able to move within the building, and I stayed on the second floor, and there was an office on the first floor. And so I told myself, well, if I work for the government pretty much for free for the last 4 or 5 years, then I could go down here and clean this office because I have nothing else to do. So I mean,
Mm.
and I didn't have any ulterior motives. I just wanted something to do. And so I would
Mm.
go down there every day and clean the office. So then eventually I went across the street to apply for a job. And I was just somebody coming home looking, to get a job and they asked for my resume. And as I went over there and I gave my resume, I was joking with the supervisor. I was like, are you all hiring for this type of work? Because I love helping people. I can do this work. So we laughed and talked and laughed and talked. And she said, boy, you can't do this work. And so as about a few weeks later, when on the opportunity became available, they figured, I showed myself cleaning the office. I built a reputation of myself as being a good worker, as a volunteer. And
Mm.
they needed someone with my lived experience to work in the office because they only had women in the office. So they
Mm.
needed someone with my lived experience to kind of, help out and kind of be like a man force inside of the office when you have all of these system impacted people dealing with trauma coming to the office. So it presented an opportunity for me. So I became a case manager. And what I realized is, as returning citizens, we talk about what's called transferable skills.
Mm.
Talk about a lot of these people that's in the streets committing crimes. In order to commit a crime, you have to have a thought process.
Yeah.
You have created some skills, you built some skills to create to commit this crime, and so we're taught that you can utilize those same skills that you use negatively, that you
Mm.
can use it for positive efforts.
Yeah.
So one of my skills was loving helping people, but I was just utilizing that skill in the wrong way.
Mm.
So now I had that passion my entire life. So now being in this work, it comes easy because I've been helping people my whole life.
Yeah.
I just was doing it the wrong way,
Yeah.
for the wrong things. Now I'm doing it for the right things.
Yeah.
And when I was doing it for the wrong things, so much trauma, negativity, drama, violence, so much came with that. That now doing it in a positive space is so easy because all of that stuff is removed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have none of those worries.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
helping people in good faith, and all of that stuff is removed. So I think for the average person that does his work, that has to feel like they have to deal with a lot.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like a vacation. It's more of a relief, because I can help people and not deal with all of the extra added violence, trauma, and everything that goes with that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels great to be able to help people. I always say that the best student in the classroom is the teacher.
Yeah.
So even though I'm helping people,
Yeah.
I'm the best student in the room
Yeah. Yeah.
because as I help people and see all the things that they're going through, it's a reminder. It's accountability for me not to go back to my old ways that led me to spending time incarcerated, doing the wrong things. It's a reminder, and now it's funny because I look at people with that mindset now, and I just wonder. I ask myself like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
also understand that when people talk about people who commit crime, people need to start asking the question as to why do people commit crime? Right? It was designed this way. I was watching the movie. I can't think of the name of it, but you remember the movie with the two white guys and Eddie Murphy? and they
Back to
took
the
that.
80s.
Yeah, and they made that dollar bet about if they put him in in certain circumstances where he commit crime,
Oh yes. I was finna say
trading
Beverly Hills
places,
Cop,
trading
but
places.
Trading Places, yeah.
And then they said we
Ralph
can
and
take that same
Mortimer.
person. They switched
Yeah.
places, so we can take that same person, put him in
Yeah.
a successful environment. So what America told us in our face through a movie is we could put certain groups and races of people in certain environments, and this is what's gonna happen. And this is what they've done. This is a result of this. So when you look at people committing murder, selling drugs, committing crimes, it was designed this way to impoverish people not to have resources to be forced to a type of way of thinking. Now, of course, we
Mm.
do have those that don't always succumb to those situations. They rise above it,
Yeah.
but we're all born different. There's no cookie cutter approach to this.
Yeah.
We all have different traumas. We all have different mental issues. We all
Hmm.
can't survive as certain people can, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody's not gonna make it, and those who don't make it are those the one who you see committing crimes. So when we judge people about what they do, we need to ask ourselves, why is it like this?
Yeah.
It was designed to be like this. You
Hmm.
know, we don't have any resources. We have the worst aldermen that don't care about our communities. When people like you just say somebody got shot in your community, where's our aldermen at? What are
Yeah.
they doing? What are they fighting for in Springfield to make things different? It
Yeah.
shouldn't just be nonprofit organizations. It shouldn't just be the churches. It shouldn't just be community members. It need to be these elected officials we keep voting for. It's not
Yeah.
doing nothing for us, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. And you said something in there, like, when you were saying about the folks who have been impacted, they've been system impacted, they out there committing crimes, and we see them. And the first thing that we do is we want to, of course, like you said, judge them. We want to throw them away. We want to, and of course, if it gets down to a point where something real heinous happens, like somebody does get killed or somebody ends up, like, I don't know, overdosing or something like that. So we want to, of course, quickly throw away the shooter or the drug dealer or whatever else like that. But nobody really stops at some point and asks the question, well, how did the dude who was doing that get down that path in the first place? First, it's one thing to say, if we're talking about drugs in the community, right? How did the drug user get to that point? We get all the resources and things for them, but at some point you got to ask the question, how did the drug dealer get to that point? Like how did he get to the point where that was the only option that he saw or that she saw to be able to get out there and sell? Were there some systems that were in place that kept them from being able to get something that we would call quote unquote more legit or something like that? So now they got to put all these good skills, all this good passion, all this good thinking process into something else. You know what I'm saying? Like that will, from their standpoint, help that family or whatever, or help them to get over. But it leads down this path where you end up system impacted or something else like that, and it just creates a bad cycle. It just creates these bad cycles. And unless somebody's really getting in there and asking questions and addressing root causes as opposed to just knee-jerk reactions, or like you like to say, ambulance chasing. Somebody just getting that ambulance chasing. You know what I mean? Like, but they got these, without these knee-jerk reactions, like really getting into the heart of what's really going on with people mentally and what circumstances and systems have been put in place that keep them there. If we're not really addressing that and voting people in and doing, like you said, all that stuff, if we're not doing that, then these cycles just continue.
yeah.
They'll continue. They just won't end. They won't stop. And we'll watch the next generation deal with the same stuff that our generation dealt with and that our parents' generation dealt with and our grandparents, because it never, like, there really was no better golden time. Like, we always had issues. You mentioned something. You said your system impacted and you came back. Just I'm sure people understood what that meant, but just explain that a little bit more, what it means when you say system impacted, because I know you kind of got into it, but everybody on here don't really, I guess, know that language, and I want to be mindful of that, so they
So the so
understand that.
the commercial term of system impacted, which has become a very popular term, is someone that has been through the carceral system, being incarcerated, being in prison,
Yeah.
um, being affected by the system, and that's a very new commercialized word that's very popular because now there's a lot of money behind it. So a lot of people try to identify as being system impacted just because it's beneficial
Mm-hmm.
now. It's beneficial to be system impacted, you know. But I think about those
Mm-hmm.
guys who have done life 30, 40, 50 years, you know, who are really seriously system impacted compared to somebody who probably just got arrested for a ticket and tries to and they probably went through some harms. I get it, you
Yeah.
know, but they want to identify because of the benefits. But you know, it's a slap in the face to those who have done 30, 40 years wrongly
Mm.
convicted for a crime
Yeah.
that they didn't commit.
Yeah.
But you know, I take it a little deeper because when you know system impacted is just not about being incarcerated or an incarcerated system. For me, I've been system impacted my whole life as a child with the poor school system that I have to go through. Those systems that fail our children,
Yeah.
the systems that deprive our communities of resources, the political systems that do nothing for our community. So I've been system impacted for a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
those are the systems or the individuals who I like to say are system impacted. Those are the people that I think about.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? That's interesting that you brought that up because we've been talking about trauma awareness, right? And we do a lot of talking about that with the Community Healing Resource Center Network. You know, the CHRCs. If y'all hear us say CHRC, that's what it stands. We talk about our Community Healing Resource Center, Community CH Healing
Right.
Resource R Center C. So CHRC. So a lot of the work that we talk about is getting people even just informed on what trauma is, and so like you mentioned system impact on like even what that is, because like I think the first thing that goes to people's mind is you say system impact, and of course there's the aspect of when you've been locked up 30, 40 years or you had to deal with wrongful convictions and stuff like that. But there's another system impact side to it, which is if you grew up in a school system that didn't have certain stuff and certain opportunities, well, there's a system that has now impacted you, like you just said, and a lot of us don't recognize that or realize that because we normalized it. We just, school is just rough. Everybody mad. The teachers is upset. That's just school. That's just what school is. Well, not really. Because if you go over to, I don't know, Schaumburg or Northbrook or Highland Park or one of those areas, school is a very different scenario for kids growing up, versus if you over like Roseland or if you over, Julian or something like that. Like, it's a very different school. If you go to Joe Clark School, Fair East Side, it's a very different school situation. And so that impact, you grow up with that, and it hits you, and then you have to deal with it. So what would you say to someone system impacted who and with the more expanded definition that you've given us, a more expanded framework, thank you for that. um like, what would you say to folks, because I honestly believe most of us on here, to that definition that you've just given us, our system impacted at some level, what would you say to folks for how they keep pressing and keep going forward now that they find themselves in workspaces and environments where maybe they are the ones who are supposed to be helping people? Like, we've got folks on here who are in the education field. We've got folks on here watching right now who are what else did I see, in customer service and religious fields. We got folks on here who are in the juvenile detention system, like juvenile probation and all that. What would you say to them if they, see themselves as, on your definition of the more expanded definition, I want to make sure to call it that, system impacted? How do they keep going? Or what are some things that you've done to keep going, even though you've been system impacted and you advocate for community and work in community? How do you keep doing that? How do you make that happen? What would you say to someone?
And I don't think I had a best advice in that because I'm real big when it comes to I think, and which may not be the best practice, but for me, I just keep doing the work.
Hmm.
I just keep going. I just keep doing the work. I
Yeah.
think I don't know. It's just something in me that just won't allow me not to do it. So I think, for each individual it's different. That they have to find that
Ooh.
thing that keeps them going. But
Yeah.
for me, it's just keep doing the work.
Yeah.
And but also what also helps me, I have like maybe like three different mentors. Right. I have a spiritual mentor, I have an entrepreneurship mentor, and I just have a life mentor. So
Yeah.
I have people that I can talk to and communicate with and
That
work out
right
things
there.
that I'm struggling with. So it's always good to have somebody you can talk to that you trust for advice.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's been where you're going, or someone who you look up to, and not necessarily look up to. somebody who you just trust their advice and trust their leadership, and you trust the journey that you see that they're on,
Yeah.
that you may be like minded with,
Yeah.
and that's what I do. I just talk to like minded people and people who I trust to give me good advice in my journey.
Yeah, man. So you just said something real good because I think that we have put that in there at some point in the show. I think I made that same exact, that same plea to people. Have somebody you could talk to. Like, but I was saying have some friends or something you could talk to, but you just said something that's real good. Have some people who are like on the same journey though, like, like someone who can mentor you because I think that's, we were mentioning this, when you dealing with certain stuff, first thing people oftentimes do is pull away, isolate. They start trying to self-medicate or whatever it takes. A lot of people do all this different kind of stuff and ain't really got nobody they can talk to. And sometimes the people they talking to ain't on the same journey that they're on, which means, they you on the straight and narrow, you trying to do a thing, and then all the people around you is like, no, man, you need to go left, you need to go right, you need to try this, and it just pulls you off. You got to have somebody, like you said, who's on that same journey. So you say you got a spiritual mentor, you got a entrepreneurship person, and you got somebody that's just for life. So you got three people that you can go through and that you can go to. I'm wondering how many people on here have at least one person that's at a lookup level, because I think you just gave some solid advice, and I'm wondering all through the, we got I call them lock stars. All the
I'm
people
finna adopt you. You're gonna be my superstar mentor.
No, you gonna be my superstar mentor. I told you I was gonna beat you to calling me superstar. But
I'll take it to the next level. I'll beat you to the punch.
Right, that part. Superstar mentors. There we go. But it's so real though, because like somebody who is like, who I guess who mentors you, they can like, they've been down that road before. They can tell you like, no, just keep going because I've been here. I know that phase. That phase, you gotta go through that phase, but keep going, keep pressing, and some folks don't have that in their life. How did you come across your, if you don't mind me asking that question, how did you come across the mentors that you do have? Because some people might be looking for mentors, just don't know how or where or if they can even find them.
Well, my first mentor, my spiritual mentor, I met in prison. And what I liked about him was his discipline. So he had 10 years. He was blessed to become to go through a business management class when it first opened and then become a teacher's aide. So he spent his whole 10 years inside the business management class, which gave him access to a computer to learn about computers. So he spent his whole 10 years studying computers, reading 1,000-page books, and now he's out of prison making $80 to $150 an hour, right? Out of something that he learned in prison.
Yeah.
So, I admired his tenacity, I admired his discipline, and then I admired his spirituality because he always put God first. Yeah. But that's why I call him my spiritual mentor. Because I just look up to him to make a smart decision. He's someone who.
We still there? I think Alex froze up on me. Let's see here. Can y'all hear me? We're gonna make sure we. Alex, I think you froze up on me. I don't know if you can still hear me. I think you froze up though. I think you froze up. I tell you what I'm gonna do. There you go. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. There you go. All right. Can you hear me?
Did my voice go out?
It did. Yeah. You went away.
Yes, I was just saying. Yeah, I depend on him because of his success and determination, his tenacity. The great decisions he made, the successful life he has built for himself. He's living downtown, making great money. And this is the decisions he made based off changing his life while he was in prison. And his dedication, his perseverance to the work and dedication he's done. But most importantly, he always put God first. He's always in the Word. So that's why I call him my spiritual mentor. So I really select my mentor just based on who they are as a person, their ethics, their morals, their decision making, and someone that I can depend on and talk to. Someone that I feel like that can be a great friend.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's, like I said, I think that's good, solid advice for for some other people, because other folks, like I said, may not have may not have that. They may not have anybody that they look up to, or maybe they just just getting new into a field or new into a situation where they don't even know that that's possible to even get a mentor. But I advocate everybody need a mentor. I got me a mentor. Matter of fact, on the show, the second episode of this show, I had my mentor on there, my cousin Jerry. He's my mentor, and I was able to have him on. So we are so grateful for mentors. I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all that are watching, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have like a set of mentors, because a good spiritual mentor might not be the best business mentor for you. a good medical mentor might not be the best person to give you some advice on how to I don't know. But find mentors that work for what you need. That's basically what I'm getting at. That's basically what I'm getting at with it. Alex, I know you got to get ready to get up out of here. We got to move on to the next segment, but I mean, this has been phenomenal. I wanted you to get on here and let people see who you were and see who I'll be working with, what we be doing out here. So I don't think I'll be lying when I say we'd be actually in the community. Because and I want to maybe end the conversation with this one then. Like, because we do this work with community healing resource centers and stuff like that, where we get out and we get to people and we get a chance to, you do some canvassing efforts and we be talking to folks and getting them the mental health resources and trying to do that. So how do you deal with doing that kind of stuff, knowing that people are dealing with some really tough stuff? Like they dealing with some really hard issues. And then at the same time, you got your stuff you got to deal with, but you still show up and keep doing the work. So, you mentioned having mentors, having someone you can talk to and all that kind of stuff, and just constantly getting up. But, do you do anything, that keeps you, what's the word I'm looking for? That keeps you sane, I guess. You got anything that keeps you sane while doing this kind of work?
I guess, traveling, but I think my biggest relaxer is just plopping down on my couch with a blanket with a cup of lemonade and just watch me a good show. That's my relaxed time, man. That's what I enjoy.
I feel that. Yeah. I feel that. No, I feel that. I do the same thing. The only problem is that by the time that cup of lemonade will be gone, I'm knocked out.
Right.
I'm even having to learn this, man. I'm having to learn that when you fall asleep on the couch out of exhaustion, just passing out, like that is not good rest. Like that's just exhaustion. That's just your body exhausted. Like you can't just pop up from that and then get up and start doing more stuff, because then that stuff pile up on you, and I got that problem. So I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna get me a good cup of lemonade, and I'm gonna I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna get me a good cup of lemonade and chill out. But my parents are coming this weekend, so I guess I got the Yeah. So we got this weekend, and I said I was closing that last one, but we got this weekend coming up, and it's gonna be a good time. I'm telling all of y'all lock stars that are on here, we've been inviting you all week to come on out. We capping it a hard cap at 30, like a hard 30 is the cap. We want 15 to 20, but I extended it to be up to 30 people, and so we got a hard cap it at 30 though. Otherwise, it loses the essence of what it is. But you can meet Alex on Saturday and shake his hand and trust me, you want to shake his hand because he's a superstar, and everybody wants to shake the hands of a superstar. So y'all get there.
Are you talking about the lock stars?
Well, I got lock stars. You a superstar. We just lock stars. We just
you got lock stars. So you the real superstar. I ain't got no brown stars.
The brown stars, that's wild. That's brown stars. There we go. See, we all making stars. There we go. But you still the superstar. But listen, man, I want everybody to know, I appreciate everything you do, everything you've done, everything that you're doing. I really do appreciate it. And I think we need more folks like you in community. I'm gonna throw this one comment up here because then we got to move to the next segment. I know you got stuff you got to do today. I don't want to take up all your morning. This is one of those last minute things that I popped together, y'all. Like the conversation started going a different way this week. And yesterday I hit Alex up, was like, yo, you want to get on my morning show? So I thank you for getting on here. You know, I know you got stuff to do, but you know, I love this one comment that somebody left. They said adult ex-felons who are leading successful lives should go in the juvenile system to mentor those young because of familiarity alone. I love that comment. Brony Cat, that's actually the one I was talking about who works in juvenile probation systems. So yeah, that's her thing. So, you know, she's giving you some good kudos in that sense and making a plea that people who are system impacted should help these young folks and start healing at the root cause. I don't know. So maybe we have to put something together where we can do that. Maybe I probably should start working on that. You're right. So thank you for that comment, Miss Brony Cat. Alex, bro, you got anything you want to tell the people before you get out of here? I'm going to play a song right after, and then...
No, man, it's a blessing to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me, and I hope you all enjoyed what I had to say.
Of course. Hey, y'all do me a favor. Y'all show some love to my bro, Mr. Superstar Alex Brown. One time for the get down. Like, bro, I appreciate you being here, man. I'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Okay, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thanks for being on here. Hey. Y'all, that was my dog, my friend, my brother, my man's Mr. Alex, my coworker, listen, I asked him to be on here because, you know, again, we work in a hard field. I know the field I work in is hard. I know the field some of y'all work in is difficult, and it doesn't take away from real life. It doesn't take away from real life issues. There's a system impacted person, got to deal with all of that, still shows up and does good. So it's possible to still show up. Y'all, guess who's here? We got Rich Holmes in the backstage area. I'm gonna play a song, and when I come back, I'm coming back with Rich Holmes, because y'all know we like to close the show out on the right note, and Rich Holmes has to come in and give us a recap and all that stuff. You know, we like to bring him in to do that and to give us our benediction. You know, I believe firmly in benediction. And research the word benediction. It's not just the amens at the end of a service. It's not just prayer at the end of a service. It's a blessing. Like it's literally like we join together and we want you to be blessed. We want you to be in good vibes when this is all said and done. And so we're gonna bring him on for that. Thanks, Abronia said that was a good segment. Thanks, Rhonda. They called you Alex, Superstar Alex. So, you know, there you go. That's your name now. So we are going to come back with Rich Holmes when we get back. And in the time being, I'm going to play, you know what? I was going to play one song. I'm going to play another Jamaica song. I'm going to play the other Jamaica song we've been playing. Number one, because she's our girl. Number two, because we like this song. And number three, because it is exactly what we've been talking about. If it don't bring me love and joy, then, you know, I don't want it. And shout out to Miss Ursula Ellis. That's one of our lock stars. She's on with us every day. We love you. We glad you're here. Hey, welcome. All right, y'all. Let's hit them with that. I don't want it. No, I don't bring me love. I don't. By Jamaica Lachey. Here she is. I don't want it.
Stand up, never lay down. Used to see us in the back, we in the front now. They tried, we did. Stepping up, no chill, I'm about to go in. Steady dancing in the clouds, got Abba walking mouse, talking handshake, smiles for the big win. Almost on the reach in, trying to put their bid in, hoping they can slide just a piece in. But this ain't for the weak, for the hearts wanna sleep. Put a guard on your piece, gotta stand in your sleep. Take a breath and be meek, gotta take it from me. No one can do you like you do it. Be fluent in you, that's a movement. Stay focused on you, it's not selfish, it's true. It is only to you that you prove it. If I can't feel no love, I don't want it, yeah. If you can't feel these voids, I don't want it, yeah. If it don't bring me joy, I don't want it, yeah. I don't want it, I don't want it, yeah. People used to talk how me could falling off, now they looking for my corner. Rap bomb on the backtrack, I ain't cutting no slack, it's a new order. Set my team real strong now. Kingdom coming like a song now. Guaranteed on this walk you will bleed, but his word is the creed and my faith equals free. No one can do you like you do it. Before Tangled entrapments, the pressures of being down. Transcender traps and their bodies have turned to clouds. Depression's a trophy for Gen Z, and socials will kill you with envy, fabricating the line through the enemy. My state, it is altered and change has occurred. Intention is heavy on serving this world. My being has meaning, no love lost, I made it. I'm good at believing that's true, I don't think. If I can't feel no love,
what is hair in my mouth? My God. I don't want it now. Man, look, I came on here and I took a sip of water and I looked at myself in the screen and all I saw was hair in my mouth. This mustache, y'all, I'm telling y'all, this mustache is obnoxious. This beard is obnoxious, but nonetheless, here it is. So, y'all, we got here with us. Okay, so before I bring them up, I got to put this comment up because I spit my water out when I saw this. So, y'all know me. Y'all follow me on subscribe to me on YouTube. Go check us out over there. Facebook, you can follow me. Newx, you can follow me. I'm a Newx. Instagram, you can follow me. Zeke like Newx. You can follow me in all those places. And when you do that, you'll become a Lock star. When you were, when you were looking at our friend Alex who was on, we call him the superstar. The person who made this post is Rhonda on the Rocks. You go follow her, you'll become a rock star. But she said that the only fitting way to bring Richard up, you got lock stars, rock stars, superstars, and Richard is a past star. There we go. Richard is the past star. So y'all do me a favor as I bring up past star Rich Holmes to the stage. Y'all welcome him. Here he is, Pastor B. Rich.
Y'all are something else. What's that?
Pastor. When I first saw it, I thought it said porn star. I said, whoa, wait a minute. What? This light was all in my eye. I was like, whoa, Rhonda on the rocks today.
She on the rocks early.
Then I said, oh, it's past star. Oh,
Rhonda on the rocks early.
So between thinking my mama was advocating for weed and thinking that you was a porn star, I think Zeke Live in the Morning has taken a turn.
It was going so good.
We had a run, guys. We've unfortunately now we've lost all of our.
We lost it all.
We lost that all. We just lost all our sponsorships. We lost
everything's up for now. It's over with. Porn stars and pastors. It's going wild.
Man, listen, good. And it's crazy because we're having this conversation this week, these next couple weeks now, about mental health. I'm so glad we decided to extend this out by 2 weeks, to push guests back and be able to really have this conversation a little bit longer and more in depth the way we've been doing. And the reason I'm so excited about that is because, we were just talking about, these different mechanisms that people use to try to cope, the masking and coping and numbing, and I say 30 year 2022 away, but you was there, you know what that was like. My music was not praise ye the Lord, God is good. I was writing songs that was talking about all of that stuff, like depression. I'm fighting depression, and then the drugs and the what did I say, the drink, the drugs and the boozing, the reason I'm using it's been a while since I even listened to that song. I might need to just play that one day on the show
Everybody helped out. So
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
This week or what you doing this week?
Yeah. Oh, maybe tomorrow will be a good day to just.
It would be.
Oh, okay. Since I'll be vulnerable, maybe I'll bring out some of those songs.
Yeah.
They're not mixed and mastered though, so
That's the beauty about it. That's really about it. That's your brand. That's who you are, man. So
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow and play some of those songs because we've been talking a lot about listening to the lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
And those lyrics, man, I think by middle 22, I got back and I was listening to this music and I'm going, oh shoot, something ain't right. Like this is what I'm writing. Oh God.
Yeah. That was a reality check for you, man.
Yeah.
Your music was able to speak to you though, and tell you where you kind of were at.
That's true.
With a reality check. So you still was doing the thing that you felt you supposed to do on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. That's true. That's true. So I guess I got to share some of that stuff with the people. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Get it loaded up and just share some of that music and those lyrics that was really coming out of me, like ooh, that I gotta prep myself up for that one though. That's because I have not listened to that stuff. I've not listened to that stuff in a while. Like I had to kind of like maybe just put it down for a second so that I can like kind of move on.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting to go back and just find that stuff and listen to it.
Yeah.
Again with people, but in real time. So
is it? So yeah, people should be okay with knowing like you may have to put something down that you may love or passionate about just to really get yourself together.
Yeah.
Because or do we continue to just press? You know what I mean? Like that's such a interesting dynamic. Yeah. And I guess that can kind of be based on a person. Because like with Superstar today, the Superstar, he said he has to just keep working.
Yeah.
He has to just keep pressing, has to keep going in order to get through it. Some people I've met and associate with, they take a moment to just pause and say, hey, I got to really get myself together.
Mm-hmm.
So man, definitely. That's serious.
Yeah. And then like, for me, it was, I did put music and stuff down for a while. Like, I think I frustrated you and Eric and others for quite a while. Like, Zeke, when you gonna get the music? When you gonna do that? I think I frustrated enough people with that. But I mean, and like you said, you know this. So I mean, I had to put it down for a minute. But that particular project worth of stuff, even picking the music back up now that I'm getting more back into doing it and like getting the project done and starting these conversations again and just diving back into that world and back into that space after sitting down for so long, like it was some of those songs that I couldn't pick back up when I picked up just the passion again. I couldn't do that. I couldn't.
Yeah.
So because that it triggered something in me. Like music has a way of triggering something in us, man.
I believe that for sure.
Yeah.
I believe that for sure, man. It can help with emotions for real. Like that's one thing I love doing in the morning, like meditating, put on some nice soft music and just relaxing, praying, communicating, and that music can definitely help out a situation, man. It can influence just thoughts and decisions and choices that you make. It's really good, man. So I to all the artists out there, like I encourage y'all, please keep making music because y'all helping us out here. You know what I'm saying? For those that can't make no music, all we can do is say, I die. We thank y'all for making the music to help us out,
Yeah, because you live it, and you used to be in the music game. You still write and you still do, you moved into some other things. You moved into some other stuff, but you still, you've been in this world, so you know what it is like, to write from real situations and real places, and so you have to relive sometimes that stuff. Like if you have to write a song because sometimes artists, they get hired out to do stuff, So maybe you have to write a love song for something while you're in the middle of a breakup. Like, so you got to go back and relive what it was to be in love, even though your real life is going through a breakup. So you got to live these good memories. And when it's all said and done, like you lived in this world for a minute, only to come back to a reality of a mess and home, or the vice versa. Maybe you in a good relationship, everything is going well, but you got to write a breakup song. So now you got to relive the trauma of when you broke up with somebody that you don't even think about no more, but you got to dig back into that, and you do it all for the sake of giving something to the people, like so they have something they can work them through their situations. You know,
that's it, man. That's it. And the flip is just even on the church side with this, like I see that now that I'm going into this pastor, I see that in that role as well. I've seen where pastors are preaching increase, preaching God do this and God blessing the people, and they going back and they homeless. They have nowhere to go. They have no food for themselves or their family, but they're blessing and saying this, that, and the other. And I see that kind of in that same vein, man. They're preaching through that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I like
everybody's story. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, you don't know what people are pressing through in order to do the work. You know, like Superstar was saying, like, you know, I had him on here because, like, you know, he's out in community doing like case management stuff like that, dealing with people who have been impacted by not only these systems of, you know, jail and prison and all that, but also, like he mentioned, systems of poor education, systems of, you know, these food deserts that we live in, systems of high crime and just the trauma that's around there. And then people who have been, you know, impacted by trauma and stuff like that, dealing with that while at the same time having to deal with your own stuff, your own case, your own family, your own whatever. You got to deal with it for yourself, but you trying to get somebody else over the finish line when maybe all you wish is that somebody help you get over the finish line. Like help me get over. I'm trying to lead you over the finish line. Ain't nobody to lead me. Help me. Dude asked me for $5. Well, he didn't ask me $5. He asked for any money that he had. I didn't have no change, you know. Right. You know, I had no change. All I had was a $5, and I needed it for something else. So I could not give it to him. It was somebody, you know. But I had no cash to give him, you know, at the, you know, the pet.
You know, they started getting a little smarter, man. One guy put
they got Cash App now, I've been hit with the Cash App 3 or 4 times, especially downtown. Like,
it's okay, man. I got cash.
He's like, they pull out that QR code real quick, don't they?
Real quick. Don't they?
Dude asked me for some money, and I was like, hey, man, I was gonna ask you for the same thing. Like, I was looking at you, how much you got in that cup? I was gonna ask you for the same thing. I got $5 and it don't even belong to me.
Right,
like I was gonna ask you.
Right. Well,
you know, you be trying to get people over the finish line, and you got your own stuff, man. Your own stuff. Real. Hey, Doc, real quick, I got to say what's up to a few people on Instagram. I have ignored Instagram for the last hour. Oh, PJ on bass was on here at some point. I don't know if he's still there, but if he is, PJ, one of the baddest bass, my favorite. He's like one of my favorite bass players of all time. He taught me so much musically. I'm pretty sure that's Asmaret that's on here. I'm just picking out names of people. Asmaret. Dante called her Asma. Your name Asma? Like, no, your name ain't Asma. Asmaret. That's our girl from school. Who else is on here? My friend Jesper where are you from? Sweden. He's from Sweden. He's on here. I see MacArthur was on here at some point.
Oh, he'll be a good person.
I need to have MacArthur on here.
Absolutely.
Yes. Let's see. Relentless was on here. That ought to ring a good bell. Your actual brother.
Listen, he got something coming up, y'all. It's going to be amazing.
You think he'll come on my show?
You got to see it. Huh?
You think he come on my show?
You know, I'm gonna try to call his people. They be hard to get to sometimes.
His people be hard to get. You know, he too important for me. He might be too important for this show. I don't know, but we're gonna try.
We're gonna try our best. Maybe if people put in the comments something, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We gotta get Relentless on.
Yeah, we gotta get Relentless on here. We gotta get him on. Let's see here. We had Mama was on with us today from down in Dallas. You know, we just call her Mama. We just call her Mama. You know, she watches us on Instagram, and so we always gotta show her love because she's on every day, even when she's on set. I don't even believe I'm looking at this name. Doobie Powell joined in at some point, so that was pretty cool. I don't know if he's still here, but Doobie, you are an inspiration to everybody who has ever picked up a keyboard or a drum set or a microphone. You are your brother Kevin. I love your brother. So I know your brother, and he's, you know. So I got to give him a shout out. My actual brother as well was on here. My oldest brother. My brother John, I have to call him John. I can't call him Boo. I can't call him Baby Boo. I got to call him John. Like my brother John. Yeah, Yeah, I got to get real names. Jones, Dyson. Mom and dad are on an airplane right now, boo. They on their way here. So, yeah, but my brother was on here. He said, let's go, bro. So I got to shout out that. And then my brother, Isaac Cates, I'm going to have him on. I actually need to call him because he's going to be in Chicago at Trinity. And so I need to have him on when he comes to Trinity. He is one of my favorite people in the world, Isaac Cates. And then this comment goes to Pernell. I know you can't see it, so I got to put it on the screen. They said you are one of the baddest bass players out of Chicago. I will make an argument for that. I will literally make an argument that
this announcement. This announcement. This breaking news right here. What you finna say?
Oh, this ain't no news. I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say that PJ will go toe to toe with anybody that you think out of Chicago is the best bass player. I promise you, if you put PJ on the stage with him, I promise you.
I thought you were going to give him top 5 or something. I thought you was about to give him
the top 5 bass players out of Chicago?
I thought you was going to give him top 5, Doc.
I don't know if I got a top 5. It's because different stuff works for different things. Like, I'll name some of the best ones, though. Okay. My favorite to work with is going to be Sam Glover. Right off the bat, out of the thing. Sam Glover is my favorite to work with. Somebody with perfect pitch, all that stuff like that. We've done music for so long together that we just know how to, we just have to just play. So, yeah. So we just have to, we just know how to work together. So Sam is my favorite.
Yeah.
PJ, on the other hand, he might be my all-time favorite out of Chicago.
Oh,
and yeah, well, of course. Well, but I got a chance to work and know PJ when we were first coming to the music. We was both in the music hard in college, and PJ was coming back to school. So we met PJ at Olivet, and he was coming to school, and I didn't know he was a bass player or nothing. I just remember when I came in and that did the, the whole transfer thing and all that. He was talking about, how he was coming back to school and all that. And then I remember watching a pep rally one day, and I heard a bass that was just better sounds than I've ever heard. I was like, who and what is that? He was like, one of the things for his class, he was in pep band and he was playing. They would just let him just go to town. I was like, that guy has got to come play for gospel choir. And of course he couldn't because he was already touring the world, like literally. But when he did, he would play and he would give us so much like, this is what you want to do if you're going to be professional. This is how you do. And it really, if it wasn't for him in my life, I don't think that, like, he was one of those pivotal people in my life. And so he will always be my top in that sense. Of course, you got to put Thad in there. You got to put Thad in there. John Sherrill, he's an amazing bass player. That doggone DJ Werner, he's an amazing bass player. He used to play with us back in LXW days. He's from Memphis originally, but he's here. You got to put Maurice in that mix. Maurice. You got to put Maurice. Sheree. You got to. All right, I'm about to start just naming all these different names of people. And it's some bass players that's out here. There's this young cat that used to play for us at APC. His name is Isaiah Horn from the West Side. And I wish I still had him over at APC. When I say he was easy to work with and he was good, he knew his stuff, he picked up quick, and he was good, man, really good. Wow. Yeah. So it's a lot of unheard names out here, or that folks don't really know like that. But
Yeah.
So now you done got me out here putting the top 5 out. Who yours? Ain't gonna get me in trouble.
I ain't got none. I like
everybody. Boo! Boo!
Y'all let me. No, I'm just joking. No, my favorite Rico. I got Rico, man.
Oh, I can't miss Rico.
My guy. Rico on the bass. He had a birthday the other day. Shout out Rico, happy birthday, man. Yes,
out Rico.
He had a birthday. It's actually him and Jamaica. They got the same birthday. So that
get out of town.
Yeah.
Oh snap! So, Rico and Miko. That's the
Miko.
Rico and Miko. I know Jamaica. Nobody's ever called you Miko, but to make the rhyme work, you just got a new nickname. They said we can't leave out Ethan Farmer, so I need. Do I know Ethan Farmer?
No.
Is he related to? No, that's not who I'm thinking.
NATO? I don't know NATO.
I don't know.
You know NATO? I don't know NATO.
I don't know NATO. I don't know NATO. I don't talk about people I don't know. I don't make it happen to talk about people I don't know. I don't know NATO.
I don't know NATO. Okay.
What movie is that from? That was Bernie Mac, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Head of State. That was Head of State. Yeah. I don't know NATO. I don't talk about people I don't know. I don't know NATO. You know NATO? I don't know NATO.
I don't know NATO Jacobs. I thought you were talking about NATO Jacobs.
That's what we need. That's what we need in today's world. I think we need a Chris Rock, Bernie Mac combo in the White House. We need Chris Rock as president. God rest Bernie Mac's soul, but we need somebody like him as the vice president. Security! Ethan Farmer used to play for Janet Jackson. Well, in that case, he got to be one of the baddest ones out of Chicago.
Gotta be.
Man, Rich Holmes, we talked about a lot of stuff today. I thought we were going to get a little bit more into the church hurt conversation. But, we got really just into jobs and I went on a real tangent there. No,
that was cool, man. I enjoyed every moment. My biggest stress level didn't come until I started working at Chase Bank. My God.
Oh,
man, it was a different world because, all I knew was church, huh? I knew church, and then I went to school that was semi-church itself. You know what I mean?
A church extension.
Right. To get into the real world and to have people question your identity, you as a man, you as how you walk and talk and different things like that. It was stress that I've never had to deal with before. Yeah. It was dealing with the community, dealing with the people at large. And it was just like, wow, this was a big adjustment from a bubble to go right into that type of job, that type of environment. So to kind of navigate through that took a moment of prayer and everything. It wasn't just prayer. It wasn't just prayer. It was also learning from people that were already there. How did you get past these moments of feeling racial profile and or being held back because of race and different things like that? I have never really experienced that until I got into the world system, as I call it. When I stay in the kingdom system, God says I've been cool, you know what I mean? But when I started shifting and really trying to operate in the things of how they do, I have to learn how y'all operate because I don't know. Yeah. And all my getting, I got to get an understanding. I use that principle in season and out of season. So whether I'm in church and business, I need to get an understanding of why am I here? What's the purpose of this position? And so I had to learn that. And then that kind of helped me out to help out with mental stress and different things like that. But pressure, man, that was something else. Yeah. Yeah. And you not want to get a job no more. See, I understand. You had church drama. You don't want to go back to church no more. Okay. Same thing with the job. I didn't want to go back there no more. So I had to rely on God to say, I need you to make a way. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 no more. I don't want to deal with these stress that a lot of people have to deal with. Yeah. Because that's not me. That's not what I want to be a part of.
Yeah, it's like too many other things that stress you out that you do want to get involved in, and it's gonna come with its own stresses, and so But
that's me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's different folks.
No, absolutely. You said something that was in there. You said that you found what do you say? In all you're get understanding. You found how different systems worked for where you were. And by finding out what that was, it's like, what, I'm not even gonna deal with this. Like, I see what it is. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm gonna figure something else out. But everybody, doesn't necessarily have that capacity to be able to do that. Some people are, to some degree, maybe stuck where they are for different life situations, or maybe you want to get into the medical field. So it's like, well, I have no desire to open up my own office, so I got to work at a hospital. But what comes with the hospital is all these additional stresses and all this. So, maybe, if it's the religious field, maybe you going to, I feel like I want to be a pastor, but if I'm going to pastor, I'm going to take that stress on. I need to be somewhere where I don't have to work a second full-time job and then take on that stress as well as this stress.
Like, to those pastors too. They got to do that second. They got to do their main job. And
that's most pastors. That's the overwhelming majority of pastors. That's I don't think folks really realize that the overwhelming majority of pastors are actually bivocational. They're not. That church is not making enough income to sustain a salary and everything that comes with a salary. I mean, like a livable salary. They may, you may get a little salary. You may get something. They may,
Yeah.
But if you had a job that's only paying you $1,500 a month, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's only gonna be so long before your wife say, "Baby,
Right?
baby,
In the spirit all day, man.
you gonna have to do something else now."
Oh,
Praise God for this 1,500 that the church is
Yeah.
giving you, and that may be wearing the church out, may wear them out to give that 1,500, which means that you definitely not gonna be able to ask for 5,000, like,
Wow.
which is when you start getting about livable. Like, if you on a livable wage, you need about $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
You barely doing a fifth of that from your. So what you gonna? Where you gonna make that up from? Like, hey, a second job, and what that second job gonna come with? Stress, and we say it with pastors because we know that world, but this is for so many other people, social workers, and like people who work in nonprofits, people who do volunteering stuff because the stuff they volunteer for ain't got no budget for that kind of salary, so they volunteer because they feel called to it.
Yes.
But how do you pay your bills other than a job, and how do you go to a job that ain't got no stress? Like, you find that one. Help me out.
Help everybody out.
Yeah. Help. Let me know if they hiring. Eric, if you listening, I know you working in HR. Do your jobs come with high stress levels or no? Like, some people need jobs and we don't want the stress.
I was in a job description type, like the job details, low stress management, low stress level job. Like, I wonder if they put that on there in 2025.
I don't know. You know what? How do you even like gauge that though? Because what stresses one person out may not stress another person out. Like me, I'm really good at doing stuff on the fly. Yeah. Like I can just, I catch stuff. I can do it on the fly. Yeah. I can work a show. I can make it happen. Yeah. But I've been in places where I've done that because I just step in and naturally do it. Right. And the reason I stepped in and naturally doing it because the people who were planning it for 3 and 4 months, it is wearing them out. It's not natural for them. I don't know how to put a show together. I don't know how to make this work. I don't know how to make that. And meanwhile, I come in and 20 minutes later and we got a 2-hour show that flows and has so that's not stressful to me, but for somebody else, that's right. But it's part of their job description. It's stressful. So, how could you put low stress on it? I guess you just have to put it on there and let people decide for themselves, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yes, couldn't put that on there.
Yeah. Man, listen, because I do have to make a hard 10 o'clock stop because I got to go. My parents are on an airplane right now. So
all right now, I got to catch the plane, so I understand.
There it is. So, Rich, you know how we like to do, though, man. I like for you to come give us your pastoral. I'm sorry, Rhonda gave you a new name. Your pastor.
Not pastor.
View. We talked a lot about stress at work and dealing with that. And I know people are going to get off of here right now and go to work, or they're either at work listening right now. And it's not out of the, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to believe that somebody on here right now is in a stressful situation on their job, or they are about to have a stressful situation today. I'm not speaking it over nobody. I'm just saying what naturally could happen before this week is out, where they ready to crash out. Man, give some encouraging words to the people, man, if you don't mind, help the people out.
Yeah, I'm going to do the best that I can, when stress comes and arises. Again, I always say life is choice driven. You will live and die by the choices that you choose to make. Always know that you are in control. You know what I mean? You control your destiny. You control the situation that's going on. And so when you know you're in control, it's best to know, well, who's controlling you? If you're just doing it by yourself, then nothing that's good in your flesh there dwells no good thing in your flesh. So in the way that you're thinking, in the way that you think you should make those decisions that might be wrong, you have to take a moment to realize who you are when it comes to God. And when it comes to God, His blessing will overshadow any struggle that you're going through. And so allow Him to work through you. He wants to connect with you and work through you for you to get past any struggles, any mental health, any decisions that work. Allow His peace to overcome you. Let His mind be in your mind. Begin to think on the things that He would want you to do. Things of peace, things of good, not of evil that's going to hurt you. Know that He has an expected end for you. You just got to get to it. All right. Hey, let me pray for you. God, thank you for this time of coming together. Thank you for these lock stars who came to this community. Thank you for every word that was shared. Thank you, Lord God, for the peace that surpasses all understanding. When people don't understand when you at work, when you should be ready to cuss them out, Lord, I thank you that Holy Spirit would hold their tongue, hold their mouth, and they will make a decision and a right choice to choose life instead of death. Hey, in Jesus' name, amen. Talk to y'all.
Hey, that is the past star, the one and only Rich Holmes. Man, thank you so much for that. I think that was much needed. People need to just sometimes hear that somebody is in prayer and agreement with them. I think sometimes people just need to hear that. So thank you for doing that, man. Hopefully, this has been a great episode for the people. Rich, are you on with us tomorrow? I know you on your way out of town. I know you got stuff to do. Are you on with us tomorrow?
I'm committed to 9 to 10, whenever you need me, man.
Hey, so we got Rich Holmes again tomorrow. He's a world traveler. He be traveling the world, man. You be out there. So you out here. That's the saying. I'm out here.
Man. You gotta take your business.
Yeah, man. Well, man, thanks for being with us. I'm about to get us off of here. Man, listen, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm so excited and so happy that these Lock'd stars, I'm so excited that y'all be jumping on. Like, listen, y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all follow. Make sure y'all like. Make sure you share. And then, y'all, I appreciate y'all getting in the comments and getting involved. I promise. Whenever Mama gets on here and says another good show, when Mama Ride Out gets on here and says good show, then I know we had a good show. So that's whenever she says it at the end of the show, I know it's sealed well. So to that effect, don't forget Saturday. My mother is going to be here. We're doing that thing on Saturday. Announcement? Where's the announcement? Oh, wait, where is it? There it is. Yeah, don't forget this Saturday, you're all invited. Now, I told you I only got very limited space. We gonna allow up to 30, but I think we're already at that 15 mark, and we want 15 to 20. So, but we're allowing up to 30. So, after that, it's too many people, like, for what this is. It's an intimate session. We're dealing with families. We're dealing with stress. We're dealing with trauma. We're dealing with all of that. I want you to come. I do have an announcement from Robert Johnson. Who is that? Robert Marshall. With his ARC conference. And I definitely want y'all let's see here. I definitely want y'all to check in with that. I'll have that announcement loaded up for tomorrow. My mama will be on with us tomorrow. Rich Holmes will be on us tomorrow. And I think I may do that. I think I may play some of my older music that was from 2022. So tag a neighbor, share with a friend, let them know Zeke Locke is going to be playing some stuff that he said may never see the light of day. It'll see the light of day tomorrow on Zeke Live in the Morning. You've locked in with Zeke Live in the Morning. Did I tell y'all we are a great way to start your day? Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell you? All right, y'all, I gotta go. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really do hope you have a blessed day. Don't forget about those announcements. And we will see you next time.